simple. The first rule is that you just have to be 18 or older. The second rule is that you have to support Trump. And the third rule is that you have to be from America. And those are the people that we are looking to have a conversation with about why they support the president. Now, we are going to waste no time, and we are going to hop into that first debate of the day. Let's go and load that very first guest up in here. So everybody just do be patient. Maga Michelle, Maga 47 will get you up here. What's going on, Sizzler? Do you support Trump?
Glob.
Okay, I don't think so. Maga Michelle, I saw you spamming Maga 47 down below in that comment section. I sent you an invitation to join the live. All that you got to do is accept it. I'd love to have a chat. Maga Michelle. Let's go to move on to the next guest, Grizz. Everybody just be patient while we're working on getting the next guest up in here. What's going on, Grizz? Do you support Trump?
Yes.
Okay, how old are you?
19.
Perfect. Yo, Alicia, thank you for the $4 over on PayPal. They say MAGA's crazy. I'm so sorry that they've been saying that shit about you. I appreciate that, Alicia. It has been crazy. It has been pretty bad. It has been like, I'm not gonna lie. It's been like really bad. But hey, anyways.
Because you dox people. You do.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What's doxing?
Well, you put his public information out on the internet, or at least your cult followers did.
Real quick, define doxing.
They got orders from you, by the way.
Define doxing.
Yeah, putting someone's personal information, like their address, their oh yeah, which you did, by the way. You said go find their address.
We still haven't heard you. We'll just start at the basics. Define doxing, and we'll move on from there.
Okay, revealing someone's very private information, such as address, full name, town of origin, all that stuff,
like publicly on the internet, right?
Yes, which you did.
So that's actually the opposite of what I did. I actually specifically instructed people to find public information and privately take it to local CPS authorities, and explicitly said not to post it on the internet or spam it in my chat.
Okay, was it posted
definitionally speaking, it's not doxing.
Was it posted on the internet?
I haven't seen it posted on the internet now.
Oh,
you're the one that said I called for doxing. Oh, you defined doxing as you just defined doxing as taking private information and then posting it publicly on the internet. So in other words, if I told people to find public information and privately take it to local CPS authorities and not post it on the internet, like explicitly saying that, this would mean that I didn't call for doxing with how you define the term. So even with how you define the term doxing, I didn't call for any doxing.
Okay. You said, all right, I'll give you that. You didn't call for any doxing, but
thank you.
Did doxing happen?
The doxing happened.
Honestly, please.
I haven't seen any doxing, and neither has the man. In fact, fun fact, that really evil man, that husband, he said the worst thing that's happened to him is somebody sending him a DM saying that I bet he eats Trump's shit.
Okay, but you don't think that behavior should be like not enforced at all? Like, do you think that kind of behavior should be allowed?
Okay, so now you're just asking me if what I think I did was like good or bad. Like,
yes.
So now that we've agreed it's not doxing. So, I mean, I'd say in retrospect that I should have like told my fan base to take or to find his public information to take it to local CPS authorities. Like, I think that there's a billion better ways for me to handle the situation. But I think that we need to understand that wasn't out of like an intention of malice or harm. That was out of intention of them like being like threats. There was definitely a lot of red flags suggested. I mean, I actually just posted a video about it. I mean, they straight up said that parents have the right to exploit their kids. They said that sometimes.
I don't think that's what they said.
Do you want to hear it?
Yes.
Fucking fantastic. Okay, great. I'd love to play it to you. All right, now we're gonna see what the MAGA worldview does in like live 4K. At the start of the conversation, like the very first thing that was said was, "Here's Donald Trump walking into the changing rooms of these naked teens." And what was your first response to that?
Did the parents give consent? Did they allow it?
Goatman, precisely. I don't think that a parent can allow for their underage teen to be perved on.
You don't think, or that's the law? There's a difference. There's a huge difference.
That's husband and wife. There you go.
Can you define perving for me in your worldview? Please?
An old man walking into a space where there's undressed teenagers to look at their bodies. That's an example of it, right?
So if the parent said to the underage teens, "Hey, Mr. Donald Trump is going to come walk in here and say hi to you guys. You guys should get dressed," and they all got dressed, would that be okay? Hypothetically.
So if my grandma had wheels instead of legs, she'd be a bicycle. So isn't it funny how
What?
now you're completely moving on from the original reason that you suggest you join for.
Well, I'm
So-
using hypotheticals, which you use all the time.
You joined to tell me that I doxed somebody.
You
end up
did.
You already conceded. No, the gig's up. You already conceded that I didn't.
No, I said
you
you
already-
didn't dox
you-
somebody.
you
but your
already admitted
actions
that I
led to
didn't dox
doxing.
anybody.
Your actions led to doxing, Dean.
And then for whatever reason, you just completely ignored the fact that no, his information has the only private information that we know about this guy that's been posted on the internet is the private information that he posted on the internet and
You
the
can't confirm
GoFundMe.
that. You can't confirm that.
Okay, so now you're also suggesting a non-falsifiable theory. But I just want to clarify. I said that these parents said that parents have the legal right to exploit their kids. And then you said, no, they didn't. And I just played you that clip. How do you feel now?
Well, all they did was ask if the parents gave consent.
And then when I said, I don't think parents can consent to old men perving on their children, what did they say?
Oh, I don't remember. What did they say?
And what was
Yeah,
your
please
first
do.
response to that?
Did the parents give consent? Did they allow it?
Goatman, precisely. I don't think that a parent can allow for their underage teen to be perved on.
You don't think, or that's the law. There's a difference.
And by the way, this clip goes on for another 5 minutes. I'm just playing the first 30
I'm
seconds.
very
of this
aware.
video.
I saw the full clip.
So do you understand here how you're defending an indefensible view?
I'm not defending it. I'm just saying that.
So can we agree that, yeah, they did say parents have the legal right to exploit their kids?
Well, did they say that exactly, or did they ask if the parents gave consent? Because I didn't
So
hear.
that's what the
anything
husband
about
said.
it.
The parent, the husband said, well, did the parents give consent? Because that was his defense of an old man perving on naked underage teenage girls. And I responded to that by saying, well, I don't think parents have the legal right to do that. I don't think they have the legal right to exploit their kids. And then the wife was like, oh, is that what you think, or is it against the law? And then she goes on to defend that parents have the legal right to do whatever they want to their kids. Listen.
There's a huge difference. What's the law?
Wait, are you... So no, that's actually not the law. It is...
What is the law, Dean? What is the age of consent? What is the law?
We're talking about teenagers, under 18 here.
Right, and they don't have the legal authority to make that consent. So whose responsibility
Wait.
is it then?
It's
Who is it? Is
so,
it God? It's not God. Who is it?
So the child can't
Are you
consent
denying the
to
claim
sex,
that
and the parent
teenagers
can't
under 16 can't give consent?
listen to the clip. Consent
Yeah,
to
I'm
the child
listening.
having
You
sex.
just never
So
outright stated that.
where does the consent fall?
Because nobody. The
When you
consent
go to
doesn't
the
fall on
doctor's
anybody.
office, when kids go on field trips, who's signing the papers? Because it's not the child. From my research, statements from the
I said that the kid can't consent and the parent can't consent for the kid. See, this is like one of the rage baiters, everybody. So, I mean, if you're coming into the
How
live
am I
stream,
rage baiting?
Yeah, one second. If you're coming into the live stream from the recent video that I just posted on TikTok, this is the people that are doing this. People like Grizz. So, I mean, Grizz just listened to that clip of these parents like describe how they have the right to exploit their kids. Parents have the right to do that to their kids. And then Grizz, responds by saying, Dean, do you think kids can consent?
Yeah,
Like
because
the
you never
same-
specified that.
The same shit. I did specify that. You just listen to
So
me
kids
say-
can give do you think kids can give consent?
No, like I said in the clip, kids can't give consent.
Okay, well that's not what you said.
It is what I
Whenever
said.
whenever you got people
There's a
after
huge
that
difference. What's the law?
Wait, are you?
coming up
So
saying,
I
"Dean, kids
no,
can't give
that's actually
consent."
not the law. It is.
What is the law,
Give
Dean? What
consent,
is the
you
age of
oppose that.
consent? What is the
You
law?
oppose
We're talking
kids.
about
You
teen-
oppose-
what?
that's very predatory.
What the fuck is going on? Listen to the clip. Teenagers under 18 here.
Right, and they don't have the legal authority to make that consent. So whose responsibility is it then?
It's
Who is it? Is
so,
it God? It's not God. Who is it?
So the child can't consent to sex, and the parent can't consent to the child having sex.
So
The child can't consent to sex. The parent can't consent to the child having sex. And your response is to say that I think kids can't consent and I'm a predator?
Yes. Like this overwhelming worry for children, especially when there's two able-bodied parents in the household. Like the fact that your main concern is, I'm afraid that these kids are getting sexually exploited, so I'm going to call CPS.
This is the people. These are the people flooding my DMs, everybody. You all just watched one of the people. There is thousands of people like that guy flooding my DMs, calling me, telling me to self-unalive. I got DMs saying that they're going to grate me, grate my girl. Dude, These people exist. Okay? And like the obvious reaction is to say that guy's rage baiting. That's genuinely what he believes. Like this is like political persecution. You know, all that shit that Donald Trump claims is shit that's actually happening to me. I'm getting called a predator because I'm a liberal that stood up for children. We're going to move on to the next guest. Let's go to get that next guest loaded into the live. Go ahead and hop in that queue if you support Trump. Y'all all just heard that, by the way. Y'all all just heard him say that I'm a predator because I don't think kids can consent to sex. Y'all all just heard him say that. Let's go to get that next guest up here. If you're in that queue, make sure that means that you do indeed support Donald J. Trump. We're going to go get that next guest loaded into the box right now, y'all. We're just looking for people to debate. Insofar as why they support Trump, we are going to go and start the live over on YouTube, so everybody just do be patient and give us a moment. Welcome in, Maga Michelle. If you wouldn't mind just giving me a moment here to get the live stream started, that would be phenomenal. Let's go to get that live stream started over on YouTube. And everybody, seriously, make sure that we're double tapping away in that phone screen over on TikTok. And we're starting on YouTube right now. Kat, thank you for the motorcycle. Hello, and welcome into everybody tuning in on the YouTube stream. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate every single one of y'all for giving me some of the time of your day. We are going to go ahead and hop into the debates with Trump supporters. In fact, we already have our very first Trump supporter, Miss Maga Michelle, loaded into the live. You're going to hear my voice double. It's just because I'm loading up the YouTube stream. And now we got it muted. So, Miss Maga Michelle, if you'd like to take it away and tell me and everybody else listening why you support Trump, that would be phenomenal. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, the big beautiful bill is one great reason that I support him, and he's got the border under control, and he is kicking ass in his first 170 days. So I'm really proud of him. He had a mandate, and he's sticking to it. I don't agree with everything, but mostly he's doing a great job. But I wanted to piggyback on, you were talking about children don't have the right to consent, right?
And I want to talk about the big, beautiful bill.
But I want to talk about why would you allow a child to switch their sex and change their gender if they can't consent?
So I actually disagree with sex change operations for minors, and I don't think that there is any minors getting sex change operations.
That's not true. You go to the state of Washington. If you don't allow your children on gender blockers, they will take your child away from you. So that is an executive order that Inslee put in place.
I'll give you my thoughts. So we have to recognize that like hormone replacement therapy, that's not a sex change operation. That's not surgery. But like I said, you came up here and you told us why you support Trump. You pointed out the big beautiful bill, as well as you pointed out immigration policy.
Wait a second.
You want to talk
Did
about
you say
those?
that gender blockers are not a sex change? Because that's exactly what they're meant to do. Yeah. Okay, so you don't believe in the operation, but you believe in giving them gender blockers.
When I think of the word,
confused. Explain your theory on that one.
When I think of the word operation, I think of the word surgery. So I'm thinking of like a sex change surgery. Then also about
do you think a 5-year-old should be allowed to say, "Hey, mommy, I want to be a little boy because I'm better friends with this kid over here, so I want to start gender blockers"? You think that would be a good?
There's not a therapist nor doctor in the country that will prescribe HRT to 5-year-olds.
Dean, there are, and that's why.
Can you give me an example?
It happens in Washington State all the time.
Give me an example of a 5-year-old getting prescribed HRT in Washington.
I'm going to give you one, and it's in Washington State. There was a lady who got divorced from a man in Texas. She went to Washington because she was protected under that state, and she transitioned her child at 5 years old.
Transition through HRT. Okay, give me the data. I mean, who are the therapists and the doctors that approve this?
Probably some whack jobs that work at children's hospitals.
Who?
You want me to go get you all those names?
I want the specifics on this. You're telling me that there's doctors and therapists that all unanimously agree.
I don't know that they would.
Because it takes an agreement of therapists and doctors to prescribe HRT to minors. And you're saying that they agreed to prescribe a 5-year-old HRT?
Yes. In Washington State.
Please give me the sources.
Okay, I will. I'm going to pull that data. Go on and ramble about your big bill that you don't like. How's your Unfuck America tour going? I heard it was an absolute nightmare.
That's old news, Michelle.
I heard that like Charlie Kirk.
Before we move on to the Unfuck America tour, Charlie Kirk.
I'm going to get it.
Yeah, before we move on to the Unfuck America tour, we need to talk about.
Yeah, I would want to move on from that.
How you think a 5-year-old was prescribed HRT?
Okay, I'm going to get that for you. I'm typing it in Google. Go ahead and talk about your nonsense about the big bill. You don't want to talk about your Unfuck America tour, which I thought was going to be this radical success for you guys. Go ahead.
I'm gonna wait for you to provide the source.
I'm
feel like
getting the story.
Please don't interrupt me, Michelle.
A couple years ago.
I feel like what you're doing is you're trying to overwhelm me with like a multiplicity.
No, I'm not.
Michelle, why are you interrupting me? Can I talk? You've interrupted me every time.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Talk. I'll mute.
You're trying to overwhelm me with like multiple points at the same time to like draw my attention to like other things, to take my attention away from like the big claim that you've made. So I mean, like obviously the first point that you made when you came up here was that you support Trump because of the BBB and immigration policy. You're still interrupting me.
Go look for the case specific.
But then you like very quickly interrupted me, moved on to the claim that 5-year-olds are being prescribed HRT. Before we move on and talk about anything else, I want you to provide me the source for your claim that there's 5-year-olds being prescribed HRT.
Law in Washington state that actually protects these crazy parents that they can go there and get sanctuary. Go look it up. Put in Washington state law on gender affirmation.
You said that you were going to give me
there is a case. It was
of a specific case of a 5-year-old.
Yes, but there's a law in place in Washington
We'll talk about the law after we talk about the case.
Parents.
This is still an obfuscation.
I'm trying to find
now
it.
You're trying to obfuscate.
6 years ago.
Now you're trying to obfuscate away from the case by talking about some law. We could talk about the law after we talk about the case.
Okay, I'll find the case.
Great. While Michelle's working on finding that case, everybody make sure that we're double tapping away on that phone screen and sharing out this live with a handful of friends. Nicole, thank you so much for the $5 over on Venmo. There's no evidence that any doctor in Washington state has prescribed full HRT to a 5-year-old, says Nicole. Thank you for the $5, Nicole. As well as Megan, thank you for the $20 over on Venmo. I really appreciate you for that love, Megan. Megan says, keep your head up. Thank you for being an advocate for what's right. Grizz and others like him are disgusting. Yeah, they're really disgusting. Thank you for the $20, Megan. As well as Kylie 4 minutes ago with the $20 as well. Just thank you for getting me through this ridiculous traffic semi-sanely. Also, I love you and stand with you. I appreciate you for that love. All the love to you as well, Kylie. Thank you for the $20.
Okay, how many cases do you want? Because there's like 5 of them. There's one that hides a 10-year-old. There's a family finds freedom in Washington after fleeing Julia and Keegan.
I want the one case that you were referencing of a 5-year-old.
Well, there's several of them, which is
5-year-old getting prescribed HRT. I want the 5-year-old case. That's the one I want.
There's actually like 6 of them up here. If you Google it, put it in, and doesn't that make you sick that there's that many?
So what's the source?
I just put it in. Family flees South Carolina and moves to Washington State for gender affirming care to transition child. There's that one. Let's see.
Okay, what's the publisher?
Politico.
Flees to Washington for
state.
And this is a 5-year-old that got the care?
There was a 5-year-old, there was a 10-year-old, and mom can proceed with gender. Yep, there's a bunch of them, actually.
So
several cases.
The first thing that pops up, and this is coming from Politico, so I'm pretty sure that this is what you're referencing, are parents that moved to Washington, and then, quote unquote, this is a title, hid their 10-year-old daughter's gender transition. And then even in the article, they talk about this even in the article, they talk about this as a social transition. So a social transition is going to be just like asking people to refer to you via very specific pronouns, not like a biological transition or medical transition, which would be HRT or sex reassignment surgery. Remember that you're the one that made the claim that they had like a medical transition of getting on HRT at 5 years old. So like even this article that you're giving me is not giving me evidence for the claim that you made, right? And I'm gonna hold you to the very specific claim that you made, which is there is literally a 5-year-old in Washington state receiving a medical transition. That is what you said. That is what I want evidence for, Michelle. Take it away, Michelle. You're on mute. Let's see here. Megan, thank you so much for the $20 over on PayPal. I appreciate you so much for the love, Megan. That is phenomenal. Let's get 200 Mega W's down below in that comment section. Thank you so much. As well as Ilyav with the $10 saying, love you, Dean. Used to be a huge Trump fan, but I'm not anymore. That's awesome, Ilyav. And then also Martin and Brianna, thank you for the $5 and $3. Michelle, you are muted. You should unmute, please. If you want to just drop this point, let me know. I'll just allow you to drop it and move on. Like, I mean, I don't really see how you're.
No, I'm going to find it. And I just found a 7-year-old Elsa that relocated from Texas to go to, because they were being investigated for child abuse, and they moved to Washington State. I mean, there's several of them.
Okay,
So,
well, even
I mean,
even
it
the claim that you
happens
just
all the time.
wait, even the
Dean.
claim that
I
you
mean,
just made is not evidence for the claim that you had originally
Okay.
made. Saying that some
Okay, we can
family
move
like
on.
fled a state because of an
we can move on while I
investigation of
find-
child
while I find
abuse.
this. But it happens all
like-
the time,
Like,
and people
like
flee to
okay,
Washington
that
State
family needs to
get
be
protected, so they
listen
can.
to what I'm
and
saying. Listen to what I'm saying.
Seattle Children's Hospital does
listen to what I'm
these,
saying.
they do
Listen to
these
what I'm saying.
surgeries
Listen to what
on
I'm
young
saying.
children.
You just still not giving any evidence of a medical transition on a 5-year-old.
Medical transition.
Like that is a claim that you made. I don't know what to tell you, Michelle.
Well, I don't work for the Democrat Party and can go down to my computer and have people pull stuff up for me. So
You
I have
think
to,
I
like,
work
go
for the
back and
DNC?
read it. So yeah. You don't? Or was
No.
that Harry? Or was that Harry?
Wait, I mean, listen.
I know, and
I'm
you
not
don't
friends
use
with
a
Harry,
vape
but
pen while
like,
you're online either,
but
right?
like,
It's an
Harry
anxiety
doesn't
thing,
either.
right?
Neither I or Harry are
Ye-
paid by the DNC.
That's been proven over and over again.
It's been proven that I'm paid by the DNC. Can you show me the proof?
That Harry was for sure.
Even Harry isn't. No, I can tell you, Harry's not paid by the DNC either. Harry nor me. No.
Okay, you just do this out of the goodness of your heart. Dox ICE agents, post propaganda.
When have I doxed
you
an
a
ICE
liberal?
agent? When have I
Are you
doxed an ICE
promoting that
agent?
app? Are you promoting that app?
What app?
Telling people to go download that app where they can find where ICE agents are?
I don't even know what app you're talking about.
Or you don't?
What is it? What are you talking about, bruh? What are you yapping about? This is embarrassing for you, Michelle.
It's not really.
Z, thank you so much for the $25
I mean, it
over
could be
PayPal. I
as
appreciate you, but I love
embarrassing as
Z.
Unfuck America tour was.
Show some love to Z down below in that comment section.
You know
for
what
the
I'm saying? Like, it couldn't be that embarrassing.
As well as Ray
That
with
was
the
pretty
$7 over on
embarrassing.
Venmo.
Unfuck
Now I think
America.
the $2 over
That
on
was a
Venmo.
pretty embarrassing. That was pretty embarrassing for you guys.
I actually think this is more embarrassing.
I don't think so.
So do you want to go?
I
so
wasn't
do you
standing
wanna-
in front of 500 people and claiming there was, what were you guys saying? There was like 10,000 and selling VIPs that nobody showed up for.
Oh no!
And then you had the sprinklers turned on you by Charlie Kirk. That was pretty awesome. That was pretty embarrassing.
The selling-
you gotta admit that. That wasn't your
So the selling of
that wasn't
VIP
your best moment.
The selling of VIP tickets. That's something that they're doing this time around, and I'm no longer affiliated with them. I'll agree with you.
How come?
That is a little
come?
that is a little embarrassing. But now about having
How
the
come?
sprinklers turned on, they
Why
were
aren't you
never
with them
turned on
anymore?
me.
Aren't those your buddies?
Why are you pivoting and deflecting and dodging and
I'm
moving on?
asking.
You made a claim that it was embarrassing for a certain set of reasons. I am now describing how those set of reasons either are not true or didn't apply to me. And then the moment I start to speak and describe to you how you're false, you automatically want to move on from me debunking your reasons. It was apparently embarrassing to now talking about something else. It's you just can't have a consistent conversation about one thing for more than 30 seconds. Okay, that's a sign of a low IQ, by the way. Anyways. I'll say this about the Unfuck America tour. I actually don't think that you're in any place to condemn or speak negatively upon that at all, else you risk being a massive fucking hypocrite for glaringly obvious reasons that we don't even need to get into here. But if we want to actually talk about my time in Texas, okay, I'll have you know that that was probably my most successful media for getting people to go from the right to the left. I got over 100 million views, 100 million views of my content there, exposing Kirk as a fraud and demonstrating that he's scared of me. But I'm not gonna lie. Old fucking news, really old news, like months old news. Today we're here to talk about why you support Trump. And honestly, since you joined this stream, you've been doing
That is
everything
the most
but telling me
ridiculous
why
thing
you
you've
support
ever
Trump.
said. The only reason you got 100 million views is because Charlie Kirk was in those videos, and Charlie
Kirk's
changed
videos
the
get like
trajectory
30K
of the
views.
2024 election
Charlie
by
Kirk
getting young people out to vote.
Kirk only
You
gets
are
like 30K views
absolutely.
a video.
If you had 100 million
Kirk
views,
hasn't
how come
even
you can
even
get
did
anybody to
100
vote
million.
for your side?
There's
How come
thank
you
you for
didn't win the
galaxy.
election?
This was after the election, silly goose. How come those 100 million views didn't win you the election? It was after the election?
Okay, well, we'll see what you guys do. We'll see what you do in the midterms, right? Since you're that powerful, more than Charlie
Oh
Kirk.
my goodness,
That
guys.
that
So
you are more
do you want
popular
to
now than
finally
Charlie Kirk
do
is.
you want to finally
We'll see
focus
what you
on
do in the
do
midterms,
you want to
right?
finally focus on why you
Put your
support
money
Trump?
where your mouth is.
I think
See
it's
what
time.
you do in the midterms.
Okay, all right.
The
I think
Democrat Party is a failing party. Why don't you just jump on board the MAGA train? We'll let you in, and then you can, maybe get on Charlie's show more often.
I'll tell you exactly why I don't want to jump on board the MAGA train after I thank a handful of people. Joshua, first and foremost, thank you for the $50 donation over on YouTube Super Chat from the DNC.
$15.
We just
Oh my God,
we just got a
$15.
$50 payment from the DNC, Michelle.
$15.
No, not 15, 50. As well as Kathy, thank you so much for the $100 donation.
I'm not going to sit here and listen to you get money.
No.
That's fucking trolling.
I just need to thank 3 people that we could talk. Kathy, oh, she left. The whole time Michelle was up here, the one thing we didn't do is we didn't talk about why she supported Trump. Holy cow. She was so mad at the donations that she literally left. Let's go to move on to the next guest. But no, seriously, Kathy, thank you so much for the $100 donation over on PayPal. I want to see 1,000 Kathy W's down below. Kathy says, I don't know how you do this. Bless your heart. Kathy, honestly, I don't know how I do it either at times. Thank you for the $100 donation. As well as Shannon with the $75 donation over on PayPal from the DNC. And Noah with the $100 donation on Super Chat, saying she's a compulsive habitual liar. Ask her if she's Christian. You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. I'm sorry, she left, she ran away. No, but Noah, thank you for the $100 Super Chat. Let's get 1,000 Noah W's and 750 Shannon W's, 1,000 Kathy W's. I don't know what is going on with y'all right now, what's in the water, but you guys are going fucking crazy. Thank you everyone so much for the love. We are like less than 30 minutes into the stream and you guys are killing it. Thank you guys so much. And then also quickly, Kristen for the 10, as well as Sophie with the 10 over on Venmo. I appreciate you guys for the love. Apparently, according to Sophie, the Discord chat says this is peak Dean hair. I like the middle part too. But anyways, welcome in. Do you support Trump, MAGA lover?
Yes, I do.
Okay, that would be a child, guys. If you are watching and you support Trump, go ahead and drop a MAGA down below with your age. We'll get you pulled up onto the live so we could have a discussion about why. Right now, we are focused on finding that next Trump supporter. Let's go to get Polly loaded up in the box. Once again, I really appreciate everyone so much for the love. You guys are popping off. What's going on? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
19. Okay, and why do you support
Sorry.
somebody who's, in my mind, the worst president of your 19 years of life?
Okay, so I'm going to be a little bit in the middle here because, this is kind of hard for me too because I do work at a law firm that deals with immigration, so I will say that I am, kind of in the middle. But there is some things that I just haven't been able to align myself with Democrats, and that's just that there's a lot of policies that I think that regular Americans just haven't really cared about. I think the whole transgender stuff just hasn't appealed to the middle. I think there's a lot of things that go on with.
Question.
Yeah.
What policies about trans people did Kamala Harris run on?
I think she ran on, having men and women's sports. I think she ran on.
Where's this propaganda coming from?
I mean, come on. I mean, the way when she was asked on the morning show about how would she disagree with anything that Biden's done and she didn't, she ran on trying to fix the economy, which she didn't have any idea.
Wait. Before we move on to fixing the economy, I want to stay on the topic that you think she ran on policy about trans people. See, from my perspective, I'd say that her policy wasn't inclusive enough. She didn't touch anything to do with trans people. She didn't talk about trans people one time. But overall, if you're just telling us that ultimately, you voted for Trump because Trump doesn't want trans women in women's sports, I just think that you're doing what the GOP has always done, which is focusing on the persecution of a minority instead of focusing on making life better for the majority, right? Or everybody, I should say.
Well, sure.
One moment, then the majority. It's there is 12 trans women in the NCAA. And you're like, oh, I would prefer those 12 trans women to not be in the NCAA compared to 17 million Americans being covered by healthcare. Because remember, Donald Trump just took 17 million Americans off of Medicaid with the BBB. You're saying that you would prefer those 12 trans women to not be competing in the NCAA more than you would prefer the 66 million American women and girls that have lost access to abortions because of Donald Trump's policy to have access. You would prefer those 12 women, those 12 trans women to lose access to to competing in the NCAA more than you would prefer the average American have tax cuts Or you would prefer more war in the Middle East, heightened global tensions, tariffs that is a regressive tax that makes poor people pay more. You would prefer there's 12 women to not be competing in the NCAA than not adding $5 trillion to our debt with a bill that only hurts poor people and helps rich people. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure that there's got to be bigger concerns here for you to focus on than 12 trans women in the NCAA.
So again, I would go back to what I was saying, and that, so first thing I'd like to talk about too, and this is a little bit different from where I started, but like immigration reform, right? When you look at immigration reform, has both sides in the last 30 or 40 years done anything to fix immigration reform? Would you say definitely?
I'd say in modern American history, in the last 20 years, the only attempt that we've seen to fix real immigration reform at the southern border would have been the bipartisan border bill proposed to Congress by Biden and Harris that Donald Trump shut down.
Would you say, though, that closing the border and having a safe border fixes immigration, though?
No, absolutely not. Having a safe border is not something that
So
Donald
why
Trump
does
has
every
done.
country do it then?
I don't think that every country has adequate immigration policy. See, the big issue with America's immigration policy is that Donald Trump specifically has never ran on any policy or said he wants to implement any policy to effectively reduce undocumented immigration in the long term by eradicating the incentive that exists. Let me ask you a question. What is the ultimate incentive for undocumented entry into this country? Also, you're in high school. You're not 19. You lied to me. Get out of here. Okay, sorry everybody, we kicked them because they just lied to us about their age. We're gonna move on to the next guest right now. Everybody just do be patient. Appreciate y'all for giving me that heads up down below. As well as Kylie, thank you so much for the $10 over on PayPal. I appreciate you so much for the love. Everybody show some love to Kylie down below. They say finding your stream was a blessing. I appreciate you so much for the love, Kylie. As well as Catherine with the $5 over on Venmo. That's awesome. Let's go to move on to the next Trump supporter for the 13.2 thousand people watching the stream. Everybody, let me know down below in that chat if you're MAGA by dropping a MAGA with your age. We'll happily invite you up onto the left to have a chat with us. Let's go to get that next guest loaded in right now, everybody. Let's go to get that next guest loaded in right away. Phenomenal. Okay, we got Bill's loading into the box. Here we go, y'all. Okay, it doesn't look like he's coming up. Okay, Bill's is not connecting. We're going to go ahead and try to move on to Jack. We got Jack loading in. Jack has also been chirping down below in the chat. What's up, Jack? How old are you? Okay, so the guy that just joined, Jack, he actually just turned around and left without saying a word. And that guy was chirping down in the chat really heavily. I guess he didn't want to have a conversation. We're going to move on to the next guest, Brenda. Y'all keep in mind that we are just looking to debate Trump supporters, everybody.
Sorry for trolling yesterday.
I don't remember you. I think you sound underage, so I'm just going to kick you out here. Okay, moving on to the next guest. Everyone just give us a moment. If you do want to support me, you can find my Venmo.
I'm not, wait, hold on. I'm not MAGA, but I really love what you're doing.
I appreciate you so much for the love. That is incredibly kind. If you're watching and you like to support me, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio, as well as in the pinned message over on the YouTube stream. What's up, Stan? Do you support Trump?
I'm like more in the middle, but I do support some of the stuff.
How old are you?
I'm 19.
What year are you born in?
I'm 2006.
What month?
January.
Okay, so yeah, what specifically has Trump done or is doing that makes you support him?
I really like the part in the big beautiful bill where like he has no tax on overpay.
Not an overpay, an overtime.
Overtime, yeah.
So yeah, that caps out at either, I forget which one it is, $12,000 or $25,000 per year that you could deduct. I've also heard from other Trump supporters that if you claim that deduction, you also can't claim the standard deduction. Also keeping in mind here that it is the case that projections from the University of Pennsylvania tell us that even considering that every American making under $51,000 per year will be worse off and pay more in taxes, not to mention the detriment that you'll experience via the inflation onset by his tariffs or mass deportation.
I thought his tariffs won't happen no more.
Well, I mean, he's gone back and forth. We don't really know where he stands, but he did just say that he has sent letters out to all these countries that he's going to reimpose tariffs on them. So I think he's back on board.
That's weird. But I just like that part. And I also agree with him. I'm a Christian, so I don't believe in abortion.
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Would you say that abortion should be illegal because it's a sin in the Christian Bible?
Yes.
Should lying to your children and telling them that Santa Claus exists be illegal because it's a sin in the Christian Bible?
No. I didn't understand that question.
Should lying to your children and telling them that Santa Claus exists be illegal because it's a sin in the Christian Bible?
Well, harmless lies aren't really a sin, but if the lie is gonna hurt the person, that's a sin.
I don't think that you have absolutely any justification in your Bible for that claim.
Okay.
Can you give me the justification from your Bible for that claim?
I don't have a Bible on me right now.
Okay. Could you give me any evidence from anything to do with your theology that, in accordance with Christianity, a quote unquote harmless lie is not a sin?
Usually lies aren't supposed to be harmful. Or okay, lying is a sin, but
Okay, everybody in the chat is saying that he's 15. I'm just going to believe you guys because he did sound young. Let's go to move on to the next guest. Everyone just give us a minute. For the children watching the live, please don't request. Everybody, please don't request. We're only looking to talk to the adults. What's going on, Richard? Do you support Trump?
Yes, but I am 14 years old, but with the thing.
All right, yo, this is not a daycare chat. This is not a daycare chat. Come on now. Follow the rules. Okay. Put a MAGA in the chat with your age next to it. We're going to get you pulled up here because this is unreal. I don't know where all these children are coming from. You got to be at least 18 years old. You got to be from America and you got to support Trump. If you're not following those rules, I'm going to kick you. Like no exceptions. So just don't break the rules, everybody. We'll be good. What's going on? Oh, now I left on our own. We're going to move on to the next guest here. Everybody just give us a minute. We see Marcos Lynn is in the queue. Let's go to get them up here. Allison, thank you for the $5 over on Venmo. They say, can I get you on a call with my MAGA dad? Yes, Allison, you can. Request to join my live when you're with your father. Send me like another $1 donation saying that you're in the queue. I'll look for you and I'll bring you up. As well as Taylor with a $5 over Venmo saying Dean's babysitting service. I guess so. Appreciate that, Allison and Taylor. Welcome in, Marcos. Do you support Trump?
I'm more in the middle, sir.
Okay, well, I mean, would America be better off right now if Kamala Harris had won the election?
I don't think so. Okay. What I believe is that...
how old are you?
Me? Yeah. I'm 18 and a half.
What year were you born in? Okay, he also left. Bro! What is going on? This is not a daycare, everybody. This is not a daycare. I don't know what's going on. This isn't a daycare, though. What's going on, Mar DBY? Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I just got to say something real quick. Please don't kick me out. I'm 20.
20? What year were you born in?
2005.
2005? In your bio, it's like measuring your height in meters. Are you American?
Yeah, that's crazy. I know. It's just, I have Mexican family and my cousin put it. I just got one question. Real quick.
Okay, so do you want to debate or you just want to ask me one question real quick?
I need to ask you one question real quick.
Okay, so you don't want to debate. So I'm going to go ahead and kick you and move on to the next guest. This is a debate live. What's going on with MAGA? I don't know. I can't tell you what's going on with MAGA. Joshua, thank you so much for the $50 over on that YouTube stream. Joshua, man, once again, thank you for the love, bro. Joshua with the $50, let's get 500 Joshua W's down below. He says in his message here, it really bothers me how many friendlies join the request box. Countless times has he requested, y'all respect his boundary. If you really want to support him, respect his wishes. Dean, keep it up. Joshua, I appreciate you for that love. And I agree. But I think like a big problem is a lot of people just don't hear the rules because there's always people coming in and going out. But I appreciate you for the love nonetheless. Thank you so much, Joshua. You were phenomenal. What's going on, Sierra Lynn? And do you support Trump?
I didn't request to be up here, but no, I don't support.
Base, I'm happy that you're not MAGA. Let's follow those rules, y'all. Let's follow those rules. Moving on to the next guest. We got Lewis loading up into the box. Hopefully they are a Trump supporter. Please follow the rules. We are only looking to debate Trump supporters. As well as Renee, thank you for the $5 over at Venmo. Appreciate you for that love, Renee. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. What is going on, Lewis? Do you support Trump?
Hit your anxiety pen. Hit your anxiety pen.
I mean, I might. Oh, he left. All right. You know, okay, so here's my thoughts. We have 14,000 people in the TikTok live stream right now. I just have so much aura, quite frankly. I'm sorry, that's just a troll. I'm kidding. But no, on a real note, I do think that the Trump supporters are just really like scared or something. I don't know. That's like the only explanation I could realistically think of when we have like 14,000 people in here and nobody wants to talk. I don't know. What's going on, Noah? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I support Trump.
What time is it?
5:33.
Oh, sorry, you sounded British there for a second. How old are you, Noah?
I am 20.
What year were you born in?
2004.
2004. Okay, what month?
November.
Oh, yeah, they make you 20. Okay, Noah, if you could get a little bit closer to your mic and also possibly get out of the bathroom, that'd be sweet. But real quick, Skylar, thank you for the $20 over on Venmo. I really appreciate you for that love, Skylar. Let's get 200. Skylar W's down below. They say, thank you so much for everything that you do and for sharing your knowledge with all of us. Thank you for the love, Skylar. As well as Isri Troll, thank you for the $10 over on Super Chat. Take it away, Noah. Why do you support the man, the myth of failure, Donald Trump as president?
Yeah, so do you have a degree in economics?
Do I have a degree in econ? No.
Do you have a degree?
No, I don't. I'm 20.
Have you ever heard of game theory?
Have I ever heard of game theory? Yeah, I'm pretty sure we roughly went over that in my 2010 econ course, but I don't know the nuances of game theory. I mean, how does this relate to why you support Trump?
Yeah, that's a good question.
So answer it.
It doesn't.
Okay, so why do you support Trump?
Everyone go listen to my music. I release music. It's out right now.
Okay, let's listen to it together. Don't leave, Noah. Oh, he left. I was going to listen to his music with him. You know, I will say, I'm obviously not Christian, but not bad. I expected much worse. Moving on to the next guest. Here we go, everybody. Let's go to get that next guest up in the box, y'all. We got Reese loading in. Everyone, just kind of give us a minute. Yeah, that's not bad. I'll admit, that's not bad. I was expecting significantly worse than that. That actually wasn't terrible. All right, we got Robin loading into the box. Everybody, just make sure that we're double tapping away on that phone screen and share this live with a handful of friends, y'all. What's going on? Do you support Trump? Okay, Robin isn't here. What is going on with the stream today? What is going on with the stream? Any Trump supporters in here at all that want to come up here and debate? This is supposed to be a debate stream. Obviously not. What is going on, Nathan? Do you support Trump?
Hello.
Hey, what's up? You support Trump, bro?
Well, I'm a Canadian and I support...
Okay, we got to get you God then. 3 rules for everybody watching. 1, got to be American. 2, got to be at least 18. 3, got to be a Trump supporter that's willing to come up here and debate. Those are the rules. Those are the rules. I love this. How about this? If you're following all those rules, you're an American, you're at least 18, and you want to come up here and debate, I'm going to put a Maga in the chat with your age. We're going to start pulling out of the chat compared to the live. I mean, this is just really, truly ridiculous. I cannot believe that it is just show impossible for us to find a single debate today. What is going on? Welcome in, Chucky. How old are you?
I'm 18. I was born in 2006. I have a quick question.
Do you
If I
support Trump?
draw you, I just want to.
Chucky, what would make you think that now is a good time? I'm sorry. I'm really sorry, Chucky. What do you think makes it a good time? I'm really sorry though. We're gonna go ahead and kick you now. Move on to the next guest. Everyone, just give us a minute. We got Green Shark loading up in. MJ, thank you so much for the $10 over on Super Chat. They say echo. Okay, they got an echo. MJ with the $10 says, seeing conservatives seethe about a Superman film is hilarious. The source material ranging from the 40s has always been pro-immigration and equality. Dude, that's what Superman is about. Superman's always been woke, bro. Think about it. Somebody in the chat said low-key mean. I apologize. I don't want that to come off as mean at all. I'm just making my rules explicitly clear. Right? I hope that didn't come off as mean. What's going on, Wade? Do you support Trump?
Grab them by the pussy.
Okay, so you do, Wade. Why do you think it's responsible or respectable to say things like grab him by the P word? I have a feeling that you're not going to give an explanation. You're going to drop, leave, and run away. And he did it as I said he would. So in other words, what we see for the 15,000 people watching is that there is Trump supporters in here. They just don't want to debate. Even like him, he was obviously a Trump supporter. He was like, grab him by the P word. That's what Trump said. He supports Trump, but he doesn't want to stick around and have a conversation with me. Is that not just completely ridiculous? Have we scared all of the Trump supporters away? Have we gotten to a point where they just simply don't want to chat anymore? I don't know. Y'all better have a spine. Hop up in here. Join that queue, everybody. As well as Kimberly. Thank you for the $20 donation over at Venmo saying thanks for fighting the fight with love from Kimberly. With love to Kimberly. Thank you for the $20 donation. I want to see 2,000 Kimberly W's down below. Welcome in. Do you support Trump, Daisy?
Hi.
Are you
I'm
Maga?
sorry if my English. I sorry if my English is not very good
No worries.
because I'm Latin and I'm actually from Costa Rica. Please don't kick me. Please don't kick me.
Are
I
you?
just want to say. I
You're,
just want to say that I there's something happening here that I'm not. I don't know if you're very aware of that, but is gentrification. I don't know if you say it in English that way.
oh, absolutely. Costa Rica is being gentrified. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, and it's funny because when I see what happens in America or the United States, because we don't like to say America and refer to as United States as America, but when we see what happened there, it's like funny that they all get so angry for illegal people in there when we have problems with illegal Americans in here that take our lands and everything. So I'm I really like your argument, so
Well,
I wanna add that to your
well,
to your guns. I don't know how to say it in English.
well,
So
thank you so much for coming
that's
up and sharing that with us. Pura vida, and I hope they have a great rest of your day. I'm
okay.
gonna move on to the next guest, but Daisy, have a good rest
Yes.
of your day.
Bye.
Bye. We're going to move on to the next guest. Everyone just give us a minute here so we can get that next guest up in the box, guys. Going to drop a MAGA with your age down below in that comment section. We'll get you up here. After Daisy, though, we are gonna hold that really strong red line. Please follow the rules, everybody. We just want to debate a Trump supporter. Let's go to get that next guest up in the box right now. Jasmine, thank you for the $1 over on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love. Thank you so much for the love, Jasmine. As well as Bo with a $2 over on PayPal. You're phenomenal. Okay, moving on to the next guest. Go to put a MAGA devil on that chat with your age if you want to come up and debate. Right now, we're just looking for an ex-Trump supporter to have a conversation with. If you want to have a conversation with me in front of 15,000 people, just hop in the queue and spam MAGA with your age down below in that chat. Nobody wants to join, though. Nobody wants to join. Absolutely ridiculous that we found ourselves in this position where we could have 15,000 people in the live and not one person that is ready and willing to come up and have a conversation. Isn't that crazy? What's going on? Do you support Trump, Maximilius?
Yeah.
How old are you?
18.
18. What year were you born in?
2007.
Could you put a little bit more like inflection in your voice? Be a little bit happier, more energetic?
No.
Okay, this might bore me to death. Why do you support Trump? He just left. Ooh, I'm gonna lose it. I'm just kidding. I'm not actually gonna lose it. But what is going on? Hey, Angel, you're spamming back in that chat.
Trump. Down with Trump. Down.
Dude, mods ban him. Mods fucking ban Angel. Okay. All right, just ban him. Moving on to Lopez. Here we go, everybody. Just give us a minute. What's up? You support Trump, Lopez?
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
38.
38?
This is my son's account. It's my son's account.
You're 38 years old.
1986.
Okay, well, I mean, even the person on the page, I don't. Okay. Why do you support Trump?
Just better than Kamala.
Okay, this is very obviously a kid trying to make their voice deeper. We have kids and liberals. My favorite guest from the day was Daisy from Costa Rica. I like Daisy. But everybody else has been terrible. Hey, Ryder, do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
Oh my God, I never thought I'd be so happy to talk to a Trump supporter. Real quick, before we hop into our debate, I just have to thank Deborah for the $100 donation over on Venmo. Deborah, thank you for the love. Let's make sure that we read off Deborah's message here. Deborah says, keep up the good work. You've given me faith in younger generations. What you're doing is so important. Deborah, thank you for your kind words, and I'm happy I'm giving you faith in younger generations. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the $100 donation. While we're hopping into this debate with Ryder, I want to see 1,000 Deborah W's for her insane kindness down below in that chat. Now take it away, Ryder. Why do you support Trump?
So personally, I just find his policies and the way he thinks, things he does more easier to. Wow, this is way harder than I thought it would be. Like just talking in front of people, but
Nah, nerve
anyways.
setting in. Honestly, I have a lot more respect for the people that have nerve set in compared to those that don't. I honestly feel like coming up here and trying to debate in front of nearly 16,000 people and not having the nerve set in is like a sign of like low levels of intelligence. So I actually think that guests that come up here and like voice that they've like they're nervous, that's indicative of a higher level of intelligence than the average guest. But take it away. You said that you agree with this policy. What policy specifically do you agree with?
I like well, I mean, obviously that beautiful bill. I understand.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah, I know. I understand. A lot of these people don't like this bill, and personally, I'm actually quite open-minded to, you know what I mean, a change of direction and other things like that.
Yeah. So why are you a fan of the big beautiful bill?
The only reason why is because of I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this. The Medicare and the Medicaid cuts, actually.
Yeah, we shouldn't be a fan of those at all. Why do you support cutting 17 million low-income Americans off of government health care?
And I think is that over a span of time, or is that, I don't remember if that's 10 years. Okay.
So it's expected to cut 17 million people off in 10 years, and it's supposed to reduce the amount of people registering by like close to 4.8 million in that same time span.
The only reason why I say this is because I know there are a lot of people abusing the system. I understand there's people that aren't, but
when you say abusing the system, what do you mean by that?
What I mean by that is, people that have kids, and then I really don't want to cause any
Listen, I'm going to be honest, man. Either like say what you think with a chest, or like don't say it at all, and I'm going to head on to the next guest. But like I'm very happy to give you the mic and to allow you to voice what your opinion is, so we can have a conversation about it. Remember, the opinion that I'm looking for is you told us that you do support the 17 million people that are going to be cut off of Medicaid because you think that there's a lot of fraud and going on. A lot of people are taking advantage of it, and I'm just waiting on you to describe to me and everybody else listening the ways in which these 17 million Americans are taking advantage of Medicaid that justifies in your mind them being cut off of Medicaid.
The only reason why I say that is because I know there's people that have fake disabilities and don't actually.
Okay. All right. Well, the bad thing about your claim is that the Big Beautiful Bill literally implements no new restrictions or paperwork requirements for proving disabilities. So if there is people faking disabilities to claim Medicaid, they will not be kicked off of Medicaid due to the Big Beautiful Bill. The people who the Big Beautiful Bill are kicking off of Medicaid is because of the work requirement and new federally imposed maximum cap on income, having nothing to do with disabilities.
Is that when you the work requirement? How many hours is it?
You got to work 80 hours a month in order to qualify for Medicaid now. And now they're going to kick people off of Medicaid that either don't work 80 hours a month or haven't filled out the paperwork to prove they work 80 hours a month, even if they have children, as long as those children are 15 or older.
I'll say one last thing. Like, the kids that are 15 and older probably should work, and 80 hours a month is not a lot of hours because I work 55 a week.
So
I understand.
I mean, just saying. So now you're telling us that 15-year-olds should work to supplement money required to pay for health insurance instead of our government covering those low-income families. That's an incredibly immoral view. I want you to be able to explain that. But before you do, I want to talk about the second thing. You said that you have no problem with that work requirement. There is two big issues I take with that work requirement. The first big issue is the administrative burden of proving how many hours you work. When Arkansas implemented a statewide work requirement, it kicked 18,000 people off of their state health insurance. And those 18,000 people were working over 80 hours a month. They just couldn't prove it because of the very heavy and taxing paperwork delegation that they were required to fill out. And then my second claim here is, I agree that we should have policy to incentivize employment. Okay? I agree that we should have policy to get people to go to work. I just think that policy should be separate and decoupled from healthcare policy.
There's a better way to do it, you're saying?
I think that there's about 1 billion other ways to incentivize employment beyond putting people's healthcare on the line.
When I was 16, I worked, and I'm not saying everybody's, blah, 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 but I think it is possible. I think people can get jobs, and not to more or less support healthcare, but to support themselves and not have the parents have to rely on the parents to pay for stuff.
But we don't want 15 and 16-year-old children to have to work to survive, to have a roof over their heads and food in front of them to eat. We don't want that. And listen, man, when I was growing up, I also had to work to help pay my mother's bills, to help put food on the table. That's something I had to do too. It's not fun. And like, sure, I gained a lot of skills from that, but I mean, I don't want any other child in this country to have to do what I had to do to help keep a roof over my head.
Okay. Yeah, I agree to disagree. I don't want to take up any more of your time. I
Why
know
do you
have that.
disagree with that?
I just think that I think we all, I mean, from 15 on up, we should be able to work, and support ourselves, be independent as early as possible to really
Listen, I agree that if a 15, 16-year-old like wants to work, right? Like they should be able to, like a work permit that's approved by their school and parents and whatnot. But it shouldn't be required for them to have the bare necessities to live or a particular quality of life. I think that there's a separate claim that I agree with that is different from what you're making. I don't think children should have to work to keep food on their table and a roof over their heads to maintain a quality of life. That is not the burden of a child. That is the burden of the parents of that child. But let kids be kids, you know what I mean? But, if a 15 or 16-year-old, for whatever reason, just like wants to work, wants to get that experience, wants to have a way to spend their times, I don't disagree with like particularly structured work permits for like 15 and 16-year-olds. But that should not be a necessity. It should be like a desire.
Okay. Oh, I see a lot of comments saying we want them to have educations, and I don't think they understand that nowadays we have co-op. We have a lot of opportunities to work. The summers, a lot. Like I worked all summer usually. I paid for my own gas and truck and food and whatnot.
You're still trying to argue this?
No, I was just
so why do you disagree with me? Like why do you think it should, like we could agree it should be an option, but why do you think it should be required for some kids?
Oh, I not necessarily required, but if you are a lower end income, I think that you probably should help out. Like you probably should work. I mean, I'm not trying to sound.
Wait, who'd you rather supplement income to pay for food for a family making $20,000 per year? The 15-year-old working or the government?
It's not about them supplying food for the whole family. It's more or less being independent in themselves and not relying on their parents to necessarily take care of them all the time. You know what I mean?
But the only children that are now going to be forced to work because of the policy that you support are the children of low-income families that will require it to put food on their table, not the children of middle or high-income families that just want independence. And then we also shouldn't require 15-year-old children to be independent. We shouldn't require that. Those are fucking dependents. Those are kids, okay? If they don't want to work, like they in no sense should work. Those are dependents. They do not have to be independent at 15. That is not a requirement.
No, I'm not saying it's a requirement. I'm saying
But you are, because you're saying that you support taking away healthcare from their parents to, in some sense, require the kid to get out there and work to help supplement income.
I'm talking about the parents that have 8 kids just to get more money from the government. That's what I'm talking about, really. And I didn't want to be super blatant about that, but there are people that are like that, and you know that.
So there's some families that have a bunch of kids to get supplemented income from the government. I think that those families are very like far and unlikely. There's only a handful, and you don't see those families like have the children themselves. You see them get children from the foster care system. And I could agree there is some families out there that exist like that. I actually lived next to one. It was incredibly shitty.
Me too.
They treated these kids like shit. They adopted 8 of them just so they could treat it as a way to make extra money. I really disagreed with that. I saw it firsthand. Okay, but that's incredibly unlikely. It close to never happens. It's a strange coincidence that both you and me have like firsthand experience of seeing this. And in those households, the children are the victims. So why do you want to make the victims have to work harder?
Not more or less work harder. That's not their fault, really. I mean, they shouldn't be punished for having low income families because, and I understand what you're saying.
Most of the families that do that, they're not low income. Like that's you get a particular stipend from like the government for like housing foster care kids. That doesn't necessitate that they're low income. You could like be making like $100,000 per year and go out and adopt like 8 people from the foster care system and get money off of them.
I mean, yeah, I guess you could do that, and
that's what I'm just saying. Yeah,
there is some people out there that, because they're low income, they will do that because they don't really want to work. I mean, I just think that
I don't even know what you're saying. So like, you're basically just saying that we need to make poor people worse off and force children to be like slaves of capitalism to put food on their table. That's an incredibly dystopian, immoral view that I full-heartedly disagree with.
What I'm saying is that to like we're Americans and we live off of working hard. I know you worked really hard to get to this point in your life. Like you're successful.
I have worked hard to get to this point.
Yes.
Okay. But on one hand, 15-year-olds shouldn't have to work hard. They should be focused on school. They should be focused on being a kid.
Okay. Yeah. And
Can we agree? They shouldn't have to work hard. Like maybe they should have to work hard on their schoolwork, on their math homework, but not on generating an income?
I hate to say this. I honestly disagree though. I think
You think 15-year-olds should have to work hard? Okay,
Yeah,
let me ask
why
you a
not?
question.
What's wrong with
Operating
working
under
hard?
the assumption that 15-year-olds should have to work hard at like literal work, like a job, what 15-year-olds will be the only ones actually doing that work?
I mean, a lot of people do that have. I mean, so it's
Disproportionately, 15-year-olds in what household structures and what income brackets will be the only ones disproportionately doing that work?
I personally, my dad was making 6 figures, and I was still working on a farm.
But if you were to compare the amount of 15-year-olds doing work, like literally working a job at 15, with parents that made 6 figures per year compared to parents that make like low 5 figures per year, we're going to see a disproportionate amount of those young children doing literal child labor in which income bracket?
And then do
Answer my question.
geez.
Disproportionately, in
Sorry.
which income bracket would we see 15-year-old children actually doing that work?
Probably the lower end ones and the most abundant variety, I guess you would say.
So you said that like 15-year-olds should have to literally work a job, and you also acknowledge that the disproportionate amount of these young children that will be working these jobs will be children of low-income families. I feel like any rational mind would say we should probably advocate for policy to prevent that. What about you?
Honestly, I think there's nothing wrong with working hard to get what you can.
So you're saying that you literally have no problem with like having children working a job, even if you understand that will disproportionately just have poor kids working. You
I think
understand
every-
that's going to keep them poor, right?
Working and making money doesn't keep anyone.
No, that's going to keep that 15-year-old poor disproportionately. Because guess what? Then they're going to be less focused on school. Guess what? Then they're going to get worse grades. Guess what? Then they're going to have a worse work ethic as it relates to school in high school, and they'll probably still be working. Guess what? Then they'll graduate with a lower GPA. Guess what? Then they'll be less incentivized to go to college in the first place since they've already been working this job since they were 15. And even if they did want to go to college, they'd be less likely to be accepted because they would have a lower GPA on average. What happens to people that are less incentivized to go to higher education with lower GPAs in school? They make less on average over the totality of their life.
You're saying like in a longer term.
The outcome of this is literally just going to be keeping people in low income brackets for generations, and keeping people in high income brackets for generations.
I kind of see where you're coming from, where you kind of have this equal, like an equal starting point for everybody. You want that, like, kind of want this equal starting point.
Yeah, I think that equity is really important here. I think that all 15-year-olds should have no financial stake or obligation to go work a job. Every 15-year-old should have free school lunch and have breakfast and dinner. And every 15-year-old should have everything that they need to stay focused on that schoolwork, on building out the basics of a social life, building core values to direct them to grow up, and an exploration of what they want to do when they grow up to be a functioning a member of the American economy.
Yeah. Can I answer one of these?
Do you agree or do you disagree with that?
I agree.
Okay,
Can I answer one of these
if you agree
comments?
with that, then you don't agree with taking away healthcare from 17 million low-income Americans to force kids to work. So now you've conceded why you support Trump.
Can I answer one of these comments? Divinely disobedient nine.
I'm not going to lie. I don't think I want you to answer the comments. I want you to talk to me, and if you don't want to talk to me, I'm going to move on to the next guest.
Okay, sorry. I was just.
So respond to what I said.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from. Definitely, like the equality point and not wanting kids to work at young age.
No, I just don't. I don't want it to be required. I think it should be an option. I just don't think it should be required.
And it's not more or less. I think they have to, or I just think it would be. It's not.
We're gonna move on to the next guest because he's literally been arguing this whole time that he thinks that they have to. Now he's just like muddying the waters. Once I am able to call him out on it and articulate why he's wrong. So we're just gonna move on to the next guest here. Welcome in. Do you support Trump, Eric? Okay, Eric's not here. Everybody just do be patient. Yo, what is going on with the guests today? Yo, these guests have been crazy. It's like, so we weren't able to find like a Trump supporter to come up here for an hour. And then the first Trump supporter that we were able to find up was like, yo, put the kids in the mines, okay? And poor people should stay poor and rich people should stay rich. Like that's a reduction of his view. Don't know. Everybody just give us a minute here to get that next guest up in the box. Go ahead and put a Maga with your age down below in that chat. We'll get you pulled up here. Everybody just do be patient, y'all. We got Puff loaded into the box. Here we go, y'all. As well as Alpha Phoenix. Thank you so much for the $10 over on YouTube saying I grew up incredibly poor and had to work to help. Dude, what is going on? Worked to help with rent and food. And because of it, I had to get my GED. If this dude, he definitely doesn't know what it's like to grow up eating crackers for dinner. No, man, like like Alpha Phoenix, you are a testimonial of exactly what I was just talking about. I couldn't have said it better yourself. You grew up, you had to focus on work. And because of that, you didn't perform too well in school and you had to get a GED. Yeah, man, we see that all the fucking time, literally all the time. And I'm like, even in myself, I ended up being like much better around high school. I'm not going to give you guys the family specifics, but like before high school, at some points in middle school, that just wasn't the case for me. I had to work too to help pay some of the bills. But then even what that instilled into me was this mindset of focusing more on work than school. And I ended up graduating high school with a 2.8 GPA because of it. You know what I mean? But let's go ahead and move on to the next guest. Everyone just give us a minute, y'all. We're going to get that next Trump supporter up in the box right now. As well as Cindy. Thank you so much for the $10 over on YouTube. I do really appreciate you so much for the love, y'all. Thank you so much, Cindy. That is incredibly kind of you. Let's go and get that very next Trump supporter up in the box right now. Go ahead and put a Maga with your age down below in that comment section. We are just simply looking for one Trump supporter to come up here and give us a piece of their mind to have a conversation. DMS Ghost, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo. Just wanted to say that you're amazing. Keep doing what you do. Can you say hi to my friend Kiara for me? Hi, Kiara. As well as Josie with the $5 and Caroline with the $5. Appreciate you guys. And Ashton with the $5. Thank you so much. Ashton says I had to pay for my own lunches and clothes growing up. Took away a lot of my time from schoolwork. Yep. Like I was just saying, that happens so much. Ben, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo. Saying, how does the minor labor rates of other developed countries compare to the U.S.? I don't know, but that would be useful to look into. Thank you for the $20 donation, Ben. Let's get 200 Ben W's down below. Also, quickly, James, thank you for the $20 over on PayPal. Show some love to James down below. And then Sophie, thank you for the $32 on PayPal. They say, I love you, Dean. I love you too, Sophie. Show some love to James and Sophie down below in that comment section. And then James with another $15 donation over on PayPal. James, Sophie, and Ben, I really appreciate you guys so much for your kindness and generosity. And welcome in, Trevor. Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Okay, how old are you?
50 years young.
Is that you in your profile picture?
Yes, it is.
What year were you born in?
1975.
Damn, that's you. Okay. Tell us something that only a 50-year-old would know.
God. Well, I'm a Jets fan, so.
I believe him. I don't know why. I believe it. Okay, take it away. Back off of your mic a little bit. Back off of your mic a little bit. And then go ahead and tell us why you support the worst president of your 50 years of life, at least in my opinion, Donald J. Trump. Take it away.
Oh, I don't think he was the worst, but well, I support the tariffs. That's what I support.
Okay, a lot of people in the chat are saying that you're not 50. Question: what's Blockbuster?
A store where you could buy movies.
Have you ever bought a movie there?
A couple.
Which ones?
Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs. Oh wait, you said buy? No, it's rent. Nope, wrong. See, even I was too young. I had to be fact checked by all the OGs in the comment section. That's right. You don't buy movies there. You rent them. Get out of here. Okay, you poser. All right. Even that escaped my mind because I'm only 20. That's funny.
Escaped my mind because I'm only 20.
Yeah, I got an echo, so we're going to move on to the next guest. Everyone just give us a minute. Yo, for all the OGs down below, appreciate you, for fact checking me too. Let's go to get that next guest loaded into the live right now. Everybody just do be patient while we get that next guest loaded up. Everybody, we are Just looking for the next guest right now. Y'all go and let us know down below if you do want to come up and have a conversation with me about why you support Trump. Let's go to get that next guest up in the box right now, everybody. Now we're learning that you could buy movies at Blockbuster too. Okay. I wasn't around at Blockbuster, so I just basically trusted the chat on that one. But now we're hearing conflicting reports that you could also buy them at Blockbuster. I guess like he might have actually been 50. I'm sorry. I just trusted the chat. I've never been to a Blockbuster in my life. Let's go to move on to CC. Everyone, just give us a minute here. And oh my God, yo, Danielle, thank you so much for the $100 over on PayPal. Danielle, thank you so much for the love. Danielle says, raised on welfare, worked since I was 12, college at 30. Kids should not have to go through that. I could not agree more, Danielle. That guess was truly just off base. Thank you so much for the $100 donation. I mean, that is seriously so incredibly kind of you. That is so much money, Danielle. Thank you so much for your kindness. Everybody, show some love to Danielle down below in that chat while we're working on getting the next Trump supporter loaded into the box. Danielle, thank you so much for the love. As well as Josie, thank you for the $15 over on PayPal. Thank you so much for the love. Let's get 150 Josie W's. They say, hi, Dean, helped me through a lot in a rough time in my life and inspired me to keep going. I love you so much. Oh, I love hearing that, Josie. I love you too. Welcome in, Finn. Do you support Trump?
No, but let's do.
Okay, follow the rules, everybody. Moving on to the next guest. Go ahead and put a MAGA down below in that chat. We'll get you pulled up here, everybody. What's going on? Do you support Trump?
Yes, sir.
Age, please.
19.
All right. Why do you support Trump, the worst president of your life?
I support him because when he first came into term, economy was booming. Okay. I was making money personally.
When he first came into term, that's not true. First financial quarter of this year, the first 4 months of his term, our GDP decreased.
I'm not talking about. I'm talking about his first presidency.
His first presidency? You're 19?
Yeah.
So you'd have been like 13 during his first term. Like even like 11. You were making more money at 11 years old than you were at 19?
I was selling pictures, bro. I was an artist.
Okay. Okay. All right. Go ahead. Continue.
It was like, so with my household, with my mom and my family, the way it went around. So I was basically going to school, and then I'd come back from school. Oh shit! You hear mom, you hear pops arguing.
I'm just gonna kick you to move on. Everyone, just give us a minute. Here we go, y'all. Let's go to get that next guest, Anthony Barrett, up in the live stream. Here we go. I feel like he was like talking himself out of a lie there. What's going on, Anthony? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
All right, Mr. Anthony, let's have a good chat. But oh my God, before we do, I don't know what is going on today. You guys are being so freaking kind. Jay with the $125 donation over on Venmo. I want to see 2,000 JWs down below in those comment sections. Jay, man, you were so incredibly kind. Jay says, what I saw yesterday was somebody who lives his life on an above average moral platform and intelligence, who holds a strong sense of ethics and moral righteousness. Know this. It's an honor for me to help support a soul of this caliber in this world. Now go get him. Dude, Jay, man, you are here every day showing up and showing out. I love you. We all love you. And your words are always so kind. Now, while we're debating Anthony down here, if you guys could please show some very special love to Jay in the live stream chats, it would mean a lot to me because Jay has been so incredibly kind, not just with his donations, but also with his words. Now, Anthony, take it away. Why do you support Trump?
Well, I think there's a lot of things he's doing that is good. You know, for our economy and everything else.
How old are you?
Yeah. The what?
How old are you?
28.
Okay, take it away.
I mean, there's a couple of things that he's doing that I don't understand. You know why he's doing it. I mean, I don't understand how it's supposed to fix everything. But there's also a lot of things he's doing where I totally agree with.
Okay, like what specifically is he doing that you're like totally on board with?
Well, I think the tariffs is a good thing.
Oh, the tariffs? The tariffs that he's gone like back and forth on. One day we have them, one day we don't. The next day, apparently, we're dropping negotiations with Canada, who's our closest ally and to our northern border. Friendliest country in the world.
Yeah, that's true. That's been often going, for a while. But I think in the long term, it's going to be good. I mean, yeah.
Wait. What specifically is going to be good in the long term? Like, he started renegotiating a trade agreement with them, and they wouldn't negotiate back. So then he just stopped negotiating. What's the long-term benefit out of literally achieving nothing and just causing turmoil and commotion, causing the liberals to win the election, causing them to have an anti-American sentiment, to boycott American goods, and then just go back right to where we started? What long-term gain is there, Anthony?
Well, I think that he's going to bring more companies into the United States. So
Wait,
we
can you
can actually
more
have a
companies
sale.
into America?
Yeah, I mean they're opening a factory in Oklahoma with
Factory to develop what?
steel, parts, some other crap that I only done like a little bit of research into.
Okay, are you driving?
No.
Okay, is
I
that
am
just like a fan or an
driver.
AC?
It's an AC, yeah.
Okay. All right, so where is this company moving from?
I don't know, somewhere in the outside.
Okay, well, unless you could provide like specifically identifiable information where this company is moving from and prove that it was a result of his tariffs, I mean, I don't see why we should assume it's a result of Trump's tariffs. Companies open and close, that's kind of a no-brainer. The burden would be on you to show that this company opening in Oklahoma is a result of his tariffs. Lily, I appreciate you for Galaxy. Can I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Would you still support Trump if he like perved on naked teenage girls and then boasted about it?
And I've been watching your videos for a while now. I understand, I know we're going through back in 2005. Is that what you said in your last video with
Yeah, 2005. Lily Obsidian, appreciate you for all the galaxies. Thank you.
Now, like I said, I've been watching your videos, for a while. I mean, I didn't know that,
So would you still support Trump if like he perved on naked teenage girls? Is that something you do? Oh man.
I don't know about that, but
Okay. What if he like called for the termination of the Constitution?
okay, like what?
Would you still support him if he explicitly called for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution?
I'm sorry, what?
Would you still support Trump if he called for the termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution?
And where does it say that he's trying to do that?
No, man. It's a hypothetical question. If he did this, then would you still support him?
No, the Constitution is. I mean, I don't. No, I mean, no.
Okay. So he did do this in December of 2022. He went on Truth Social and he said, I'm calling for termination of all rules, regulations, and articles, even those found in the Constitution.
But where is he actually doing it at?
December of 2022 on Truth Social.
No. Hold on. So just because he's saying it doesn't mean that he actually doing it. I'm saying
But we're not talking about doing it. You just told me that you wouldn't support Trump if Trump called for the termination of these things. I then proved that he's called for the termination of these things. Obviously, the logical implication or conclusion here would be that you no longer support Trump.
No, that's not logical. The logical thing is when he's doing it, like he's actually doing it.
So if I ask you, would you stop supporting Trump if Trump did X? And then you say, yes, Dean, I would stop supporting Trump if Trump did X. If I prove to you that Trump has done X, the logical conclusion would be that you no longer support Trump because Trump did X. I asked you, would you stop supporting Trump if he called for the termination of the Constitution?
So for me, actually do that. That means that he actually did it.
He actually did call for the termination of the Constitution, yeah.
When?
December of, I already told you, December of 2022 on Truth Social. Oh. Dude, Anthony, what are those reposts, man?
What repost?
Dude, you're reposting.
I haven't reposted anything.
What am I watching? Bro. Why do you have this shit reposted? What am I? Wait, get out of my life, bro, dude. Dude, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Sam, what's going on, man? Do you support Trump?
Hey. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, no, man, I can. Are you
hey.
MAGA?
I was, now I no longer support
Dude, based. I'm happy that you're no longer MAGA, bro. Great for you. Good job. Moving on to the next guest. Woo! We've been live for an hour and a half. Can you guys think of like a worse day on record compared to these last guests? I think that we're like going for like a new record. Everybody in the chat's asking what his reposts were. Just don't worry about it. They were just out of this world. We're going like for like a new record of like worst guests in a row type shit. What's going on, Dakota? Do you support Trump?
Absolutely.
All right, Mr. Man. I want to talk to you about why you support this guy. The absolutely reaction is a little disheartening. Like, oh my God, like he's terrible, bro. Like I feel like Trump supporters should at the very like minimum be like at least like a little embarrassed about it and not just jump out of the gate saying absolutely.
Hear me out.
Okay, I'll hear you.
I'm 26 years old. I'm a Marine Corps veteran.
Ooh.
I own a landscaping business and a construction business. I'm 26 years old, and now, may he be the best president we've ever had? No. But is he better than the rest of the options?
Why was he better than Harris?
Well, I just don't see how nothing she ever said to me, nobody's ever convinced me otherwise.
Okay. So why do you think okay. So you don't have any reasons why you think Trump is better than Harris?
The one thing I support the most, I would have to say, is I can't even say the most because I support pretty much everything. But the main thing I see, I like the idea of the border being closed down. Now, the first thing people are going to say is that he's racist. You know, no Mexicans, whatever. But that's not the case. For me, it's national security. It's so that we're safe within our border. I'm not saying people do not deserve to come to America. But I do agree that we should have, there needs to be a process. And to start the process, people have to go. We have to clean it up.
So you agree with mass deportation?
Yes.
Okay. I think that ultimately mass deportation is rooted in racism and xenophobia. Now, there'll be a lot of people that will just explicitly be racist or explicitly be xenophobic and will believe in mass deportation for this reason. But I also, please allow me to finish speaking. However, I'd say there's even more people that believe in mass deportation because the right-wing pundits on the TV told them that it's a good idea, or Donald Trump repeated it enough until they just believed him. So it's a mix of people that just know it's racist and xenophobic, and then other people that may not know that, but the TV convinced them of these beliefs. And the motivations behind the people on the TV was ultimately racism and xenophobia. Now, the reason why I'd say that is because there's just simply no good outcomes of mass deportation. There's not one. It doesn't help you, doesn't help me, doesn't help the immigrants, doesn't help this country, the economy of this country, the security of this country, the crime rates of this country, or anything in this country. It only hurts all these things. It cuts trillions of dollars off of the GDP. It reduces our taxable income, costs $2 trillion in 10 years, increases crime rates. What about mass deportation is something that I should support? Can you name one good outcome of mass deportation on America?
Okay, so basically every point you just said, you said that it doesn't work and it does the exact opposite. So say with a southern border, a terrorist from a foreign country can get into Mexico and can come right into the United States with no issues.
Well, now you've changed the conversation. You were shifting away from why you support mass deportation to
mass deportation,
why you want a
okay.
stricter border. So I'm asking you to name one good outcome of mass deportation.
Okay, one good outcome is in order to clean something up, you have to clear the area out. So,
okay, what are we cleaning up?
Okay, we're getting rid of anyone who's here illegally.
Okay, what's the good outcome of that on America?
Okay, so everyone here is legal. We know who everyone is.
Oh, so you're saying the good outcome would be identifying everybody. Would you be able to agree that we'd also be able to identify everybody through mass amnesty, which is offering undocumented immigrants citizenship or residency? And in fact, this plan would be able to identify individuals faster since the undocumented immigrants would be more likely to work with the plan and want it?
Okay, but so here's my thing. They have the benefit of the doubt that there's been a way to come here legally since the very beginning. So if you go speed down the highway, you get a ticket, and you could possibly go to jail. So how is it fair for someone to follow some rules and then we enforce certain rules, but not all of them?
If your argument is nobody's above the law and it's unfair to say that these people are above the law, even if it benefits the country to offer them mass amnesty, which would be the law, so if they're actually not above any law, well, then you definitely wouldn't support Trump, because I think it is so fucking totally unfair that a 34-count felon, convicted and adjudicated rapist inside of a civil court is our goddamn president. Okay? Yeah, let's talk about... Right,
okay.
this concept that nobody's above the law. Was not Abrigo Garcia. Was DJ Rodriguez above the law when he like tasered the neck of a cop on January 6th, and then Donald Trump let him out of jail through a presidential pardon and called him a patriot? Oh, you must really disagree with that, right?
Okay, no, this is a great conversation, and I'm just getting over my talk. I don't do debates. I just have my ideas, and I'll come up with a thought process.
What is everybody in my chat spamming?
But
real quick, I'm sorry to interrupt the debate, Dakota. What is everybody in my chat spamming?
I would also like to make another point if you'll let me.
1 second. What is everybody in my chat spamming? Dakota?
Are you talking to me?
Yes. What is everybody in my chat spamming?
5th repost.
What's your 5th repost?
I repost all day.
I mean, obviously, if everybody in the chat spamming about it, should we check it out? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, you can remind me, and I'm sure I can back.
I don't know. Let's watch it together. Let's see why the chat's spamming that.
Can you face it? Can I see it, or are you...
We'll just listen to it.
Oh, you pulled me over because I'm black. Oh my. I didn't at first. But now I did. If I was a cop and the first words out of your mouth was, "Oh, did you pull me over because I'm black?" I'm making sure your body is
I'm black. I'm black, and it's a joke. If you don't understand how that video is a joke coming from a black man who posted the joke and then another black man reposting, and with me being black, I see both sides very well.
I think that there's probably, a lot of other black people watching the stream that may disagree with you there.
Right. But okay,
I don't know if it's I don't know what my place in this is. I don't know. It's kind of like crazy though.
But a black guy posted it. I seen it. I thought it was funny. It was a joke. I mean, I've been pulled over. I've been racially profiled. But you cannot say that. I cannot go and say the police department that done that to me.
Listen, we'll just move on with the conversation that we were having. I'll leave that one to because he says he's black. You reposted a video from another black creator. I'll leave that one to like the black individuals in my chat that that think that's crazy. I will say that's pretty from my perspective. That's quite strange. But do you want to pick up where we left off, talking about a positive outcome of mass deportation?
Yes. So that was I believe that we need to clear this place out so we can start fresh and start implement a new system for people to come back.
Okay. So you told me that the positive outcome of mass deportation would be an inability to identify every single person in the country.
And that's not
okay, Dakota.
That's not it.
Now they're spamming about more reposts. Here's what I'm gonna do. You came up here to talk about mass deportation. I have a 5.5 minute video on my page going over mass deportation. I honestly think that you are going to be significantly better off by watching that video. I'm wearing kind of like a purple polo long sleeve shirt. It's worth a watch. It's 5.5 minutes long. It kind of addresses all of your concerns and explains why mass deportation is a bad thing. Everybody in my chat is now spamming about some 13th repost. Dakota, I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm just gonna let you go. But seriously, feel free to go watch that video. It'd be great, because you're coming up here saying that you have concerns about mass deportation. Go watch that video. I feel like it'd be meaningful for you and maybe some of your beliefs there. So everybody, just give us a minute here. All right, Joey's just listening to music. Everyone, just give us a minute. We got G Scooch loading up in the box. We got G Scooge loaded up in the box, everybody. We got G Scooge. What's going on, man? No, G Scooge left, everybody. Unfortunate. All right, we're gonna try to get hold of that next Trump supporter. Everyone, just give us a minute to be patient. Get that next guest up in here. What's going on? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do support.
That is a child. No, that is a kid. No, we're going to move on to Ethan and Isabel. Everyone just give us a minute. Actually, I think that Miguel is loaded up right now. Let's see here. Ansgar, thank you for the $5 over at PayPal. Appreciate you for that. I love Ansgar. As well as Kimberly with another $10 over at PayPal. Kimberly says, love watching you. Wanted to ask, do you think my son has schizo/AFF will have to work on BBB? No, that guy was just shouting misconceptions. So there's no work requirement for kids. It's a work requirement for the adults. You just got to work 80 hours a month. But if your children are 15 or older, if you don't meet that work requirement, they will lose coverage. What's going on, Nails B? Do you support Trump? Okay, Nailsby's not here. We're going to move on to the next guest. Everybody just do give us a minute, y'all. Really just looking for one Trump supporter to come up here and have a debate with us. What's going on? Why has the live stream today just been so insane? Welcome in. Do you support Trump?
Yeah, why are you doxing people for? You see that video on Destiny?
I don't think I've doxed anyone. Would you like to define doxing?
Yeah, fucking tell everybody to go fucking call CPS on their kids.
Okay, that's not a definition of doxing. Define doxing.
Putting someone's personal information on the internet.
Okay, great. In accordance with the definition of doxing that you just gave, I literally.
Did you see the video Destiny posted about you?
I'm sure he had some reaction. I'm sure he did. Now,
did you see it?
No? I didn't. Do you mind if I speak?
You didn't see it?
No, I didn't. Of course, I didn't.
It made you look like a freaking dumbass.
Well, I mean, I hope Destiny go watches my new video, right? Anyways, I'm sure that my new video will make him look like a freaking dumbass if he was defending the police.
How?
Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and finish responding. Can I ask you to not interrupt me? Is it possible to have a conversation where you're not interrupting me and I'm not interrupting you, Rana? Because if you're going to come up here and accuse me of a literal crime, I think I should be able to speak, right? Right, Rana?
Sure, go ahead.
Phenomenal. So you define doxing as sharing private information publicly on the internet, right?
Okay, let me rephrase. Not doxing. You were telling people to call CPS on him. Why did you do that?
I didn't even have to combat your argument. You just conceded it. You just conceded it without me even giving you a counter argument.
You tried your hardest. You tried your hardest. He wouldn't give you his name though.
I can't believe that. You come up here. One moment, Rana. Stop talking. You come up here. You accuse me of a crime. I'm like, I want you to define this crime, and without me even giving you any pushback, you just concede and you say, "Moving on, Dean." You didn't do that.
You tried though.
Oh, now you're saying that I tried to dox him.
Yeah, you said, "What's your name? What's your real name?"
Wait. So you're saying if he gave me his name, that would have been me doxing him?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Rana, what is your name?
You're like, look at it.
Wait.
There you go again, trying to dox people again.
So I just want to clarify. If I ask you what your name is and you tell me what your name is, I doxed you.
Yes.
Ask me what my name is.
You could have a fake name.
No, just real quick. Ask me what my name is.
Everybody knows your name is Dean, bro.
No, you doxed me!
What are you talking about? You could have a different last name.
You just doxed me. Why did you just dox me?
Why were you asking for that guy's name then?
Why'd
you ask for that guy's name?
Dude, Rana, why did you just dox me?
Why did you ask for that guy's name?
I'll answer your question once you answer mine. Why did you just dox me?
I didn't dox you.
Yes, you did. You said my name was Dean.
I didn't say your last name.
Oh, okay. So if you say my last name.
Okay. So why did you ask that guy for his name?
Wait, Rana, look up here.
Why did you ask that guy for his name?
No, you just looked at my full name. You doxed me.
That could be a fake last name. What are you talking about?
All right. Well, okay. I'll be.
Why'd you ask that guy for his name? Then?
Yeah, no, I'll tell you. It's because of my conversation with him. Listen. No. I didn't try to dox him. I didn't dox him.
Bro, Destiny clowned the shit out of you.
Oh my goodness Christ! You were still interrupting me. Do you want me to actually explain my perspective of things, or do you just want to come up here and say words?
Go ahead.
Phenomenal. Thank you so much. No, I didn't dox him. I didn't try to dox him. I didn't want to dox him. Okay. What I particularly asked my chat to do is to take and find public information and then privately report it to local CPS authorities and then explicitly ask them to not publish it on the internet or spam it in my chat. By no legal classification of doxing did what I did to that guest meet the classification of. Now, you could say that you disagree. That's an argument, but you just can't say that it's doxing because the claim that it's doxing, legally speaking, is abundantly false. Doxing is going to be either taking private information and sharing it publicly on the internet, or even like some public information and sharing it on the internet with an intention of malice or harm. Okay, but that's not what I did. I asked people to find public information and privately take it to local CPS authorities, not posted it on the internet, not with an intention of malice or harm, but like literally an intention of wanting to look out for children's safety. Now that we've determined that it's not doxing, yeah, of course. Now that we've determined that it wasn't doxing, do I like regret that? Do I regret like telling my chat to find public information and take it to local CPS authorities? Yeah, I do. I shouldn't have done that. I don't think that was the appropriate or adequate response. I think that there's about a billion better ways that I could have responded. Okay, yeah, I'll take accountability for that. But on the flip side, like these parents absolutely were signaling very heavy red flags. I mean, the parents did explicitly suggest on 4 or 5 different occasions that parents have the ability to consent and permit for their child to be exploited by other adults. And in fact, they even reference the exploitation of young children, such as a 65-year-old man looking at the naked body of a 13-year-old girl as a business transaction that benefits the old man and benefits the girl, as well as they denied that the creation of child porn is exploitation of children, given the example of Brooke Shields, posing in front of a camera without a shirt on, covering her breasts when she was 15, as not exploitation. Then somebody else on the call even called it art. Okay, those are very obvious, creepy red
When did
flags.
you mention a business transaction?
No,
When?
that's what his wife mentioned.
That's what his wife mentioned. What are you talking about? So if somebody
so
goes
you just don't know
into
the
a doctor.
context.
So someone goes into a doctor with their child. Is that wrong? If he consents, like, does he have to? Does his child have to consent for him to see his below the waist? Like,
right.
Where's the consent there?
So I think it's okay for
That's what Destiny was making the video about.
I think that it's okay for medical health professionals to perform medical checkups on children because it is in the best interests of the child. So that's typically how we would delegate and understand parental control over children. Is the parents do have a lot of control over their children, insofar as doing what is best for that child, and taking a child to medical health checkups, and that being performed by licensed practicing medical health professionals in a professional setting. That absolutely is what is best for that child. Okay, but for you to equivocate a medical health checkup on a child to an older man literally taking advantage of and exploiting a 13-year-old naked girl in a changing room at a beauty pageant is absolutely suable. Disgusting and deplorable, Rana. Like, do you want to listen? Do you want to listen to what the husband and wife had to say? Because I say we listen to it, and then I want you to go ahead and defend them. And when you do defend them, you're going to be a really bad person. So the other day when we were talking at the start of the conversation, the very first thing that was said was, here's Donald Trump walking into the changing rooms of these naked teens. And what was your first response to that?
Did the parents give consent? Did they allow it?
Goatman, precisely. I don't think that a parent can allow for their underage teen to be perved on.
You don't think, or that's the law? There's a difference.
There's a wife. You don't think, or it's a law. In response to me saying, I don't think parents can allow for their naked underage teenagers to be perved on. That's exactly what I said. Her response was to deny it.
What's the law?
Wait, are you? So no, that's actually not the law. It is.
What is the law, Dean? What is the age of consent? What is the law?
We're talking about teenagers under 18 here.
Right, and they don't have the legal authority to make that consent. So whose responsibility is it then? Who is it? Is it God? It's not God. Who is it?
So the child can't consent to sex, and the parent can't consent to the child having sex.
So where does the consent fall?
And now she's defending her possessing custodial rights, consent, and permission on behalf of the children to have the child be like sexually exploited, even in the context of like engaging in sex with an older adult.
Because
Nobody.
when you
Consent
go to
doesn't
the
fall on
doctor's
anybody.
office, when kids go on field trips, who's signing the papers? Because
And then the mom in this video just made the same equivocation you did, saying that sexually exploiting your children is just like taking your child to the doctor's office. Very harmful pedophilic rhetoric.
Are you saying
not the
that's
child. From my research, statements from the girl specifically that he went and saw in the changing room said that it was more transactional than anything. If anything, because these girls are competing against each other, they went to Donald Trump when he was back there to get some sort of not promotion, but like to get some sort of like feedback and transactional advice from the guy because he's a business.
Chat, stop spamming that in my chat. Stop spamming that in there. We'll do without that for now. We'll see what Rana says, and then I'll just probably kick him if he can.
Yeah, because your chat's lunatics just like you.
You understand that I've woken up to death threats and allegations of being a pedophile for the last 3 days? Who the
Yeah,
fuck?
because you try to dox somebody for some.
This is exactly what these women that were back there have said on BuzzFeed. I've seen it. I've read it.
What do you mean it was transactional when he's walking
were
on a
trying
naked
to
teenage girl?
get-
So this is where the wife defends that it's transactional.
It was
What's
transactional in a
about it?
business sense. It was
Okay, can you
transactional in
explain
a
that to us?
business. Yes, I can, because Trump is a businessman. He has a huge persona, publicly business essential. The girls were trying to get his input and get him to like promote or like give them advice.
So I just played you 2 minutes. We could listen to the other 3.5 minutes if you want. But everything that we know so far is that this husband and wife thinks that they retain the ability to permit for their child to be sexually exploited by older men, and they think that it is a transaction where both the older man would find benefit as well as a child would find benefit. And
She doesn't know what she's talking about. She has no clue what she's talking about. But is your allegations that Trump did this with underage girls, right?
Right.
That's your
We're
claim?
obviously not talking about that right now.
Where's the proof? Where's the proof that they were teens though?
I'll
Where's the proof at?
happily give you that proof, but that's not the conversation we're having right now. Because the conversation we're having right now, Rana, is like very specific, and it's how you think that these parents were like innocent, good fathers and mothers that like didn't demonstrate like these red flags of being just absolutely insane and very bad parents. So do you want to respond to that, or do you still like defend these parents?
Yeah, I said she doesn't know what she's talking about.
So do you agree that like these parents? Like,
Well, hey, that's a
exhibiting,
good
like, red
that's a
flags?
good reason. That's a good reason to try to call CPS.
do-
though. Sure, Dean. Sure,
Damn.
call CPS on him. Get his information, get his real name, his full name, and get facial recognition, and go find him and go call CPS on him. Dean.
So your position
Good
is
job.
your position
Good
is
job.
now even extended beyond mine, because I've once again I've said that I think I made a wrong move of telling my chat to find public information and privately take it to local CPS authorities. Now, after you listen to the 2 minutes of everything they have to say,
you apologize now?
now you're
Dean?
actually defending
You
that original
apologize
position
now?
as well. Now you're actually saying that was a good reason. So you
You're
just completely
apologizing now,
changed your
Dean?
mind, right?
What? That it was a good reason to go call CPS on him?
No, you're saying
No.
that you think that's a good reason.
No, I'm not.
Okay. All right. So what are we debating?
So you said that. Where's your proof that those were teens that Trump was talking about?
Yeah, for
What's your
sure.
proof?
Yeah, for sure. It would be the teenagers that like talked about the fact that he did this and the fact that he admitted to doing
Teenagers
this.
that talked about who?
Yeah, for sure. Like Victoria. Victoria is now a 35 or 40-year-old woman. In the 90s, she was a 16, 17-year-old teenager that competed in Miss Teen USA, as that's a pageant that he owned. And she's come up on this live before and talked a lot about how he would just walk backstage while they were naked.
Did he own a regular 18 and over pageant?
Yeah, he owned both.
Dean?
So the obvious
Oh,
assumption
so how
would be
do
that
you
he
know
did this to
that
both
Victoria was part of
teenagers.
the? How do you know Victoria wasn't part of any one of those?
Because she said that
Like,
she was.
how do you know? How do you know
part of Miss Teen
Donald
USA?
Trump wasn't talking about? Why do you just correlate? Oh, teen to Donald Trump. Why couldn't it be him talking about the 18 and over?
Because the people that were the teens said that this happened to them. Multiple.
What happened to them, Dean? What happened to them?
They were getting undressed in their changing rooms, and Donald Trump walked backstage and looked at them.
That doesn't happen all the time. What are you talking about? Does
Okay,
that not happen all the time, Dean?
Okay, well, if that happens all the time, all that means is that child exploitation happens all the time.
Child exploitation.
Yeah.
So then shut down all the teen pageants then.
Yeah, I mean, if
that's what we should do.
If older adult men are walking into the changing rooms where there's these naked, undressed teenagers and like these women are girls-only spaces, and this is happening at like all of these teenage beauty pageants, we absolutely should shut them all down, and we should prosecute every single one.
But to sit here and say that Trump was perving on teens is you have no basis to say that.
Yeah, my basis to say
you don't know if he was talking about the 18 and over pageants.
Well,
you have no clue.
I'd say that the best idea of what he was talking about in that clip would probably be a culmination of all of these pageants, and including Miss Teen.
No, you just don't like them, so then you're going to refer to teens.
No, I have reasons.
That's the only thing.
I'm trying to give you my reasons to believe this, but you're just interrupting me while I'm trying to give them to you. Why is that? Do you not want to be proven wrong?
Because you're just a lunatic.
Right. So you would rather just falsely label me as a lunatic instead of giving me an
You are a
opportunity to give
lunatic.
you the proof. Because you just want to live in this bubble of an echo chamber where you're just having all of your biases reaffirmed 24/7, and you think whatever beliefs you find to be the case just get to draw reality to whatever you want reality to be. Okay? And even if I possess evidence that your version of reality, your dictation and your beliefs here are wrong, okay? Because we've had like multiple of the contestants at Miss Teen USA that were 15, 16, and 17 talk about how Donald Trump would walk backstage, and Donald Trump's own admission of walking backstage and looking at the naked women and girls on the Howard Stern show. What are you going to do? You're just going to ignore all that? And then you're going to call anybody that doesn't ignore all that a lunatic? I just want to clarify that your mindset is to call anybody that doesn't ignore these facts a lunatic.
Dean, give me the proof he was talking about teens. Donald Trump in that interview was talking about teens.
Yeah, the inductive
Give me the proof of that.
Yeah, that would be the fact that we've had like 5 or 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10 of these
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
testify.
First it went from 1 to 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, because you have Victoria as well as everybody.
What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
No,
this is why I say you're a lunatic.
Now you're misrepresenting what I said. I gave you one specific example of one specific person, but this doesn't mean that this one specific person exists in a larger set of more people. Like, for instance, if I tell you about my mom and I'm like, this is my mom's specific name, this is my mom's specific age, does this indicate that my mom is my only family member? No, just because I give you specifics on one member of my family doesn't mean that's the only member of my family. So earlier, just because I gave you specifics of one of the women that have publicly spoken about how when they were a teenager, Donald Trump walked backstage while they were naked, this doesn't mean that that's the only member of the group that had Donald Trump walk backstage while they were naked and undressed in their changing rooms while they were underage. And then even to your point about maybe he was talking about the women. Okay, I think he was talking about both. This was probably an examination of all the times that he's done this, not just at Miss Teen USA, but also at Miss USA.
About both.
It's all.
Right.
It's always
Switch
been
it
what
up
I've said.
Right. No, it's not what you always say.
That's
no,
what
it's not.
That's what I said 30 seconds ago.
You specifically say Teen USA every single time.
So
every single time. It's
I immediately go to Miss Teen USA because obviously when I'm having these short form conversations with guests such as you, it's significantly more exacerbated and terrible. Just like like your intuitions when we're talking about Donald Trump doing this to minors compared to adults. See, like when I just bring up the point about him doing it to minors, okay, you can't rebuttal that at all. But I just have a feeling that you're like such a POS that for whatever reason you're just okay with it if it's adults.
I am rebuttaling right now. I'm saying prove that he was specifically talking about teens, and you can't do that.
Wait, so I've
now
given
you're
you
saying
ev-
now
I've
you're
given
saying
you
now you're
evidence.
saying it could have been both.
I've given you evidence that he did this to teens, and that the clip was likely talking about all the times that he's done
18 and
this.
over. How about it could have just been 18 and over? How about that one?
Why
you don't say that.
Yeah, for sure. The reason why it couldn't have just
No,
been
you don't say that. You only say teen.
The reason
every
that
single time.
The reason that it couldn't have just been 18 or over is because then we wouldn't have had 10 of these teens testify that he did it to them.
Now there was 10 teens testifying. Where were they testifying?
Yeah, for sure.
Where?
Victoria has testified on my live.
Yes,
publicly,
it's the same one you keep mentioning over and over.
Well, I'm giving you a set of people. You have to let me finish my.
Could have just been one lunatic from your chat again.
Oh my God, yeah, one lunatic from my chat. Yo, well then go to literally Google her name and you could find pictures of her with Donald Trump when she was a minor and call her a lunatic again. I dare you, you POS. But anyways, to finish my breath, because you have the compulsion of a toddler and you can't let anybody else finish, including your wife or ex-wife or non-existent wife. Honestly, with the mindset that you've set forth on this live, I'd shoot for the latter. All right. Anyways, I'm going to finish what I said. So not only does this include the testimony of Victoria, who you could see pictures of with Trump, okay, who hung out with Ivanka, who was one of Ivanka's personal friends. but also everybody that testified to BuzzFeed. There's a BuzzFeed article in like 2015, I think, where there was like 5 of these teens that would talk about how Donald Trump would walk backstage on them when they were naked, including girls as young as 15. And then when we combine that with a clip where he just talk about how he did this, right? I mean, I think that we have more than enough evidence to believe it to be the case. Now, if your counterclaim is to say that he was talking about women, I actually fail to see any valuable distinction between him unconsensually perving on minors and unconsensually perving on adults. Because the reason that we could just all assume that it was wrong to do to the kids is because kids can't assert consent. So by default, it's going to be wrong. Now, the difference between the children and the adults is that adults can assert consent. However, if they're not asserting consent, then it is unconsensual, just like it would be to kids, right? So are you arguing that he just sexually exploited and unconsensually perved on adult women, but he never sexually exploited and unconsensually perved on children? Is that your position?
Did you watch the whole interview, Dean? Because later on in that same interview, he says that 30 years old is kind of a little too young. Did you hear that part?
Obviously, you haven't heard the clip where he had on a 10-year-old girl saying he'd be dating her in 10 years when she's 20. Now, you still haven't responded to what I said. I want you to clarify. You're still not responding to what I'm saying. I'm not going to respond to anything that you say, right, until you respond to what I'm saying, okay? Because now you've repeated that you think this was to adults. So I just want to clarify that your position was that he unconsensually sexually exploited adult women. Is that your position? Yes or no? A yes or no will suffice.
What, that he said that they look good?
That he unconsensually sexually exploited adult women.
What does that mean, Dean? What does that? Give me your basis. What does that mean? What does that mean?
What does that mean? That means taking advantage of or reaping some personal benefit through some sexual action. The sexual action in question here would be him walking into the women's dressing room where there was no men around because it was a women's dressing room, where these women were taking their clothes off, once again, because it was a women's dressing room, to look at them while they're naked. I feel like this is very clear sexual exploitation. I mean, we could frame the same concept in a plethora of ways. Like upskirt photos of like women on the subway, that's going to be sexual exploitation. Why? Because you're attempting to look at their private parts, look at them in the nude or with panties on when they're not consenting to that. That's sexual exploitation. That's going to be the same concept driving why it'd be sexual exploitation from to walk into a women's only space where they're undressed to look at them without clothes on. Another example of this would be like, imagine you're at Kohl's with your girlfriend and she's trying on a dress in a changing room. And then the store manager comes up and pops his head under the door of that changing room to look at her while she's in the nude, putting that dress on. Okay, well, he sexually exploited her. He took advantage of the fact that she was in a space where she felt comfortable taking her clothes off to look at her without her clothes on. That's sexual exploitation. So, I mean, if we could agree that upskirt photos and, the Kohl's floor manager peeking his head under the window and looking at your girlfriend while she's trying on to dress is sexual exploitation, what's the relevant distinction between these circumstances and similar circumstances, such as Donald Trump walking into the dressing room of a Miss USA pageant where these adult women don't have any clothes on because they're in a women's only space?
Dean, he just said the women look beautiful. You're doing way too much. You're doing way too much. And also in that same interview, he also said 30 is almost pushing it too young.
He just said that the women look beautiful. He said that the women look beautiful while they were naked in a space that they were naked in because they're undressed, as was a woman's only space. You're just defining sexual exploitation. How am I wrong? How am I wrong? How am I wrong? How are you not just defining sexual exploitation?
Have you ever said a girl looked beautiful?
I've absolutely never. I've absolutely never walked into a woman's only space where these women felt comfortable taking their clothes off to look at them while they're naked and then said they look beautiful. Absolutely not. Have you?
I've said women look beautiful before, Dean.
Yeah, but did you say that they look beautiful after looking at them while they're in the nude, while they were changing a space where you were supposed to be?
Dean, I've told a friend that a girl looks beautiful naked before. Am I wrong for that? Is that crazy?
In what context?
Oh my God.
Okay.
My gosh, the world's going to end, Dean.
It's like really weird to be talking about that in general, but in what context did you see that woman naked?
I know you've never seen one before, Dean.
In what context did you see that woman naked? Answer my question.
One day you might see one naked, Dean.
In what context did you see that woman naked?
Dean, one day you'll see one.
Why are you not answering my question? In what context did you see that woman naked?
What context do most men see women naked?
You're not answering my question. What context did you see that woman naked?
Right before we did the thing. What do you mean?
Oh, okay. So you're saying that you engage in consensual intercourse with a woman, and then you turned around.
Crazy, right?
Crazy. And then you
That's
turned
so crazy.
And then you turned around to one of your friends and said that she looked, beautiful with no clothes on.
That's so crazy.
I'll say that's pretty weird. Okay, but that's still significantly different than what.
How is that weird?
I don't know. I like for instance, I've always.
How is that weird?
For
bro?
sure, I'm trying to answer your question. I've just always found it strange when like guys have talked about how like good their naked girlfriends look to like their friends. I don't know. It's something I've never done. It's something that I've always found strange. But regardless, like this context is still very significantly different.
You're just
than
a
what Donald
weenie,
Trump
bro.
did, because we just agreed that you were engaging in consensual intercourse with her. Okay. Right? But Donald Trump was not engaging in a consensual action of seeing these women naked because he walked backstage into their dressing rooms when they weren't consenting. Why do I have to explain this to you? I'm so sorry, Rana. I feel like a 5-year-old.
What if they were in a bathing suit? Is that okay to say that they look?
Dude, holy shit. Answer my question. And your account got banned. Your account got banned. Oh my God, Rana. Damn, bro. Your account's gone. G. Your account's gone.
Bro.
I gotta kick you now because your account's gone. We're gonna move on to the next guest. Everyone, just give us a minute. I guess TikTok just banned him. Everyone, we're just gonna move on to the next guest. We got Tony loading up, and guys, did I sound crazy there? Did I sound like crazy there at all? Like I'm like losing my mind talking to these people. Like did I sound insane there? No. Like my question is like where are these people coming from? Like seriously, where the fuck are these people coming from? I feel like absolutely everything I just described there is going to be like very commonsensical. Like obviously there's a difference between consensually seeing a woman naked and unconsensually seeing a woman naked.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Whoa, there's a difference, right, Tony? Tony, how old are you?
Yeah. I'm doing good. How are you?
How old are you?
Oh, how old am I?
Yeah.
18.
You're under 18. I could tell. I'm happy that you think that there's a difference between that. I'm happy that you know that, Tony. You was a minor or more mature than that last grown ass adult we had on the stream. Good for you, bro. But we got to kick you. We're going to move on to the next guest. Everyone just give us a moment. Make sure if you're in that queue, that means that you support Trump. Everybody, we were just looking to talk to Maga. Jarvis, thank you so much for the $15 over on PayPal saying, hey, Dean, I'm currently in the hospital trying to catch up as much as I can. Well, I'm happy that you're here with us. Thank you so much for the love, Jarvis. Everybody, show some love to Jarvis down below in that comment section. As well as Amani, thank you for the $15 as well. Thank you so much for the love, Amani. Saying, sorry, I guess doxed you. Now everybody knows your name. Fuck, Amani, I just doxed you because I just said your name too. Shit, I'm so sorry for doxing you, Amani. Thank you for the $15. Show some extra special love to Amani down below in that chat. As well as Elena, thank you so much for the $15. Oh, sorry, for the $75 over on PayPal. Elena, that is so incredibly kind of you. Thank you so much for the love, Elena, with these $75. I want to see 750 Elena W's, that is ELENA, down below in that chat right now. Now, we're going to go to read out Elena's message here. Elena says, only parents doing wrong would be offended by having CPS called on them. If they're doing no harm, the caseworker would put the case as unfounded accusations and dismiss it. You did nothing wrong in my books. Well, I appreciate you for sharing your perspective there. I mean, like, obviously, I think if there's like a couple that has CPS called on them and that couple just seriously isn't doing anything wrong, like, I don't know. I could understand why they'd be upset about that. But like, obviously, in this circumstance, like maybe your opinion would shift there. But I appreciate you for the $75, Elena. Please show some love to Elena down below in that comment section. As well as Ryan, thank you for the $5 over on PayPal saying this guest Rana Beats resorts to insults when he can't debate. Yeah, man, that guy's terrible. I can't even believe that there's real people like him. Thank you for the love though. As well as Olivia, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo saying, love you, man. You definitely helped me solidify my beliefs when I was unsure of where I stood. Just got hired for the first time. Super happy. Now I'm happier than ever getting to listen to your debates. Appreciate you for that love, Olivia. As well as Danny, D-A-N-I-E, with the $15 saying Olympic level mental gymnastics. That's all they're about, bro. But don't worry, we defeat it. Thank you for the $15, Danny. And then Melanie, thank you for the $20. And Rachel, thank you for the $20. I appreciate both of you guys. Thank you so much, Melanie, for the $20 saying, the most patient man on earth. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for that love. And then Rachel once again for the $20. Thank you. We are all cut up at this point. Everybody, thank you so much for the love over on Venmo and PayPal. If you are watching and you want to support me, you could find my Venmo and my PayPal in the link tree in my bio. I get 100% of the proceeds over on those platforms compared to around 30% on TikTok and YouTube Super Chat. And if you're one of the 4,000 people watching on YouTube, you could also support me in those same services, Venmo and PayPal, either through the link in the description of the video or through the pinned message. I appreciate you guys for the love. Lindsay, welcome in. Are you MAGA? Do you support Trump?
No.
Lindsay says no. Somebody in the chat says, lol, did I send my Venmo to the wrong dean? Yeah, there's about like 1 billion like scalper fake dean Venmo accounts and so on. If you want to find the real ones, just use the link in my link tree. That's a way to make sure that you're always finding the real ones. What's up? How old are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing all right. Age, please?
I'm 33.
33. Do you support Trump?
I'm kind of half and half. I don't know if I could say support 100% Trump, but I have some questions as I noticed that you know too much. I think about the mass deportation. Well, sorry to interrupt you. Just trying to figure out my ideas.
So,
I'm Latino, by the way, if my pronunciation is not that well.
No worries, TikTok. I'm just going to put our conversation on hold and talk to Angel real quick. Why didn't you just call me a child predator in the chat, Angel? Angel left. Anyways, TikTok. So if you want to run like the specific reasons by me that have led you to still supporting Trump, that'd be great.
Well,
I feel like that's what I want to talk to you about.
Like the Marines saying, he's not the best. The only thing why people like him could be because he's not a typical political. You know what I mean? Like that he's like a businessman, suppose. For some reason, he makes money, even in the good way, bad way.
Okay.
But
I want to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
If Kamala Harris was president right now, do you think America would be better off or worse off?
I don't like Kamala because they abort and all that stuff about that would be bad. Probably somebody would say, I hate you. I'm okay that it's gays, lesbians. I'm okay with that, but I think that should be not that much exposed to the kids because I think they can decide themselves when they run older. That's my idea.
Okay. So,
and if they want
you support Trump,
themselves,
so gay people won't be exposed to kids?
No. I'm saying you ask about Kamala. You ask about if Kamala is
Did Kamala Harris run on policy to turn the kids gay?
No. What I'm saying is, so what I'm saying is not that one, but she was supporting a little bit more, and I think, well, that's my idea again. That's what I didn't like her at all because I'm okay that it's gays and lesbians, but remember that on the schools they want to do like
Okay, I'm sorry. Can I just have you identify like one good thing Trump is doing?
What good thing?
Yeah.
That's what I will ask to check it out. It's supposed that every economy is from the past president, right? It's supposed.
Could you repeat that for me?
I heard from somebody that, for example, the economy we're living right now is the economy that the last president left. Because
I disagree.
Well, that's what I want to make sure because somebody told me that when Trump was first time president, I was making too much business, a ton of business. I was
okay. So you're still not telling me something good that Trump has done. Like
no, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Could you just tell me one good thing Trump is doing that you like?
Should be the deportation with the bad people, not with the good people, because I have friends that they are laborers. But
when you say bad people, do you mean individuals with prior violent offenses?
Exactly.
Okay. Obama did a lot of that. Biden did a lot of that. Dems love doing that. Okay. So this was not going to be a part of.
The problem.
Do you mind if you let me? Please let me speak. Please let me speak.
Just because if not, I forget. The problem is that he's taking hard workers. That's the problem. If he's taking bad people, should be great, but he's taking good people. That's the problem with that one.
So you actually don't support Trump's policy, okay? Because it's a bipartisan issue that deporting individuals with prior violent offenses is okay and something that should be done. That's something that That's something that both parties do. So instead of like having Kamala Harris just deport individuals with prior violent offenses, you're having Trump deport individuals with prior violent offenses and deport every other undocumented immigrant.
Correct. But
this should be a con of Trump.
Yes, correct. But that's what I'm saying.
Okay, well, I asked you to identify a pro of Trump. I'm asking you clearly. No. Stop talking. I'm asking you to very clearly identify one thing that Trump is doing that you like. It turns out the last thing that was supposed to be the thing that Trump is doing that you like, it ended up just amounting to a negative thing Trump is doing that you don't like. So you said that you're on the fence here. What is one thing that Trump is doing that you like? If you can't answer this question, I'm going to move on.
Okay. Well, I don't pro Maga, so thank you for take my chance. But the only good thing probably so far, suppose that is no more wars. And I say suppose because, like you say, in TV's management all the publicity. So suppose it's not wars, and everyone is scared about crazy Trump that they don't make any move. You know what I mean? That's the only good thing.
So
I
every
think.
single global conflict has gotten worse since he won the presidency.
Every
Every single one. Russia and
disagree
Ukraine,
with that
Israel,
one.
Palestine, Congo, Rwanda.
About Ukraine and Russia, are you in favor of Ukraine or about Russia?
I'm in favor of Ukraine, but in the conversation that we're having, that shouldn't matter because you said no wars. Every single
But
global conflict has gotten worse in the last 160 days.
But he suppose that he was like telling Zelensky to stop the war, and he didn't want. He wanted to continue with the war.
Dude, Zelensky's offered Putin 5 ceasefire agreements. Putin has denied them all and launched their largest attacks against Zelensky.
So
What
thank you for
said
that
was Russian
information
propaganda.
because so far whatever they show was sometimes, and because sometimes we don't. Well, I have other things to think about, but yeah, that's what I thought on the moment that
No, that's fair,
Trump
man.
was
That's fair, man. I
trying to
appreciate you
help
for
him.
I
But
appreciate
thank you
you
so
for
much.
asking about it.
And thank you so much. Thank
You
you so
know-
much for everything.
Yeah,
And thank you for the information too as well.
I apologize if I was a little hard on you. I hope you have a good rest of your
No,
day.
no,
Thanks for
no, no,
coming.
don't worry.
I'm listening to the whole thing.
We're gonna move on to the next guest, everyone. Like I said, I apologize if it was a little bit hard on you, man. I've been looking for a debate with a Trump supporter for the last 2 hours. Like, this is probably like the worst day for like the live streams we've had in a long time. TikTok, they were Galaxy. They were the 2 Galaxies actually. TikTok. Like, I don't think that we've had like a worse day of debates, like ever. Like, it is bad today. Like that guy was like the most normal person to request up all day, that tried to offer a defense of Trump. Like, what is going on today? I'm like preconditioned to be negative to these people because like everybody is sucked. So I apologize if I was a little too hard on you. Thank you for the 4 Galaxies TikTok. And then also, yo, Angel, thank you for the $15 over on PayPal. They say, love you, Dean. I love you too, Angel. Show some love to Angel down below, as well as Nafi. Thank you so much for the $5
water
over
with
on
them and
PayPal.
not the weird slimy bean juice.
Oh, not the weird slimy bean juice. What's up, Sarah? You're on live in front of 11,000 people. How you doing?
Oh shit, my bad. Can you drop me down? Was just listening.
Yeah, no worries. Have fun with that weird slimy bean juice. Moving back on to the next guest. Everyone just give us a minute while we're loading up the next guest, Caleb in the box. Darlene, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo. Appreciate you for the love, same support. I appreciate you, Darlene.
Hello.
Show some love to Darlene down below. Welcome in, man. Give me 1 second here, Caleb. As well, Selena, thank you so much for the $20 over on Venmo. They say thank you for standing up for women and children who are being violated. As a survivor, it was very hard hearing him justify the very thing that led to my own essay. Women aren't safe here anymore, and it breaks my heart. Anyways, thank you. I'm so sorry to hear that, Selena. I appreciate you for the love, as well as for sharing your story. Thank you for the message. As well as David, thank you for the $15 over at Venmo as well, saying you're so cool. Definitely my favorite live streamer. Thank you so much for the love, David. Show some love to David down below. And then Mr. Jeffrey with the $50 donation over at Venmo. Holy fuck, Jeffrey. I'm going to see 500 Jeffrey W's down below because that is so incredibly kind of you. They say, I'm a 61-year-old white cisgender gay/queer boomer man that truly appreciates you being an ally for queer folk. Save the dolls. Jeffrey, I appreciate you so much for being here and couldn't have said it better myself, man. We love you, bro. We love you, dude. Show some love to Jeffrey down below in that chat. And then one last time, Silent. Thank you so much for the $50 donation over on PayPal. Let's get 50 silent W's down below. They say, I'm 20. I just wanted to say I love everything you do and everything you go and stand for. You're somebody I look up to so much since I found out about you. Keep on being an amazing man. Worth it all. Thank you for the love, Silent. Show some love to Silent and Jeffrey down below in that comment section. While we're hopping into this next debate here, Mr. Caleb, how old are you?
I'm 20.
And
I'm going to be 100%. Oh,
do you support Trump?
I do. I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm not like as knowledgeable as like most like debaters, but I just want to get the other perspective and kind of give my input.
That's great, Caleb. Have you been up here before? I feel like I remember you.
Oh, no, I honestly just requested. This is my first time joining your live. Surprised I got in that fast.
Yeah, no worries, man. All right, take it away. Why do you support Trump?
See, I don't think he's necessarily the greatest president or anything, but I think between him and Kamala, I just think he is a better option. So that's who I voted for.
Okay, yeah. Why do you think America would be worse off today if Kamala Harris was elected?
So I think the problem with Kamala is she didn't really go into her policy.
Call her Harris.
Harris?
Or,
Okay.
yeah, or Kamala. Go ahead.
So Harris, she didn't her whole campaign was more about like love and like kindness, and I would really wish that she just went into more of her like policies, because it was very hard to like know any of her policies like unless you really did a lot of research, and I just think that most Americans didn't really do as much research as they needed.
Hey Caleb.
Yeah.
You're 16. It says so on your most recent TikTok. But I appreciate you for coming up here and being respectful. Something I realize is that the younger you are, the more respectful you are in this life. It doesn't make sense to me. We've seen that a lot. So I do have to remove you. Yeah, he's 16. We're gonna go to move on to the next guys. You know, we got to make sure that everyone up here is at least 18 years old. But I swear to God, like the younger people are more mature than the adults. What's going on? Yeah, he like prefaced it with saying that he's not that knowledgeable in these things. What's going on, Janelle? Do you support Trump?
Oh wait, hold on. I'm pissing. Got me.
Moving on to the next guest. Everyone just give us a minute here. Let's go to get that next guest directed by Adrian up in the live. Y'all make sure they were double tapping on that phone screen over on TikTok. Then once again, if you want to support me, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio. Y'all get 100% of the proceeds on those platforms, and you get a notification at the top of this phone screen where I can see your name and any and all attached messages. We're going to try to get that next guest up in the box right now, everybody. We got Olivia loading in. We got Adrian loaded in. We got all the Trump supporters loaded in. They're all loading in, everybody. What's going on? Do you support Trump, Olivia?
Oh my God. I did not mean to click it.
Don't worry, Olivia. Don't worry. It happens. Moving on to the next guest, Carter. Everyone just do be patient. Okay. All right. Who's next? All right. Yo, Turtle Island Forever says in the chat, is this what digital panhandling looks like? Jeez, man. Hop up here, Turtle Island. I'm in the chat. Hey, what's up, man? How old are you? I could hear you. You just said hello. Hi.
I'm 34.
Okay, you just said in the chat.
How old are you?
None of your business.
Yeah, Mike's a little loud.
I'm 20. You said in the chat that this is digital panhandling. Okay, why is it?
Say what?
You said in the chat that this is digital panhandling. Why is it digital panhandling for me just to want people to be smarter?
Oh, thank you for the $20. Thank you for the $75. You're like a street panhandler, but online, bro.
Dude,
that's how you make your living. Why don't you go to work?
Oh, this is work. This is a job, and of course I'm going to thank people when they donate.
White privileged kid.
I mean, I'm so. Do you think I'm
such a
entitled to
scam,
any of these
bro.
donations?
Oh man, let's step outside your house to see what it looks like.
Why would I show you
Yeah,
my
buddy.
house?
When's the last time you had a job?
Right
I don't
now.
actually want to see your house, but
I'm working right now.
what I'm saying is that
This is a job. Define job.
you actually have no clue what you're talking about. You got your ass handed to you by Kirk, bro. And I'm not a fan.
What did I debate him
What?
on?
Define job?
Whoa, you got some crazy Maga mobile. I asked that one like 30 seconds ago.
Oh, when you tried to debate, I'm sorry.
What is? This guy's like airy.
Yeah,
out
man,
now.
it's a delay. I'm in the middle of nowhere.
John, thank you for the $20 over on PayPal. I appreciate you for the love, John. John says, keep being awesome and destroying these Maga cultists. I really appreciate you for that love. Let's get 200 John W's down below for the job, as well as a very kind compliment. Thank you so much, Mr. John. Thank you so much. That is incredibly kind. As well as Condra, I'd like to thank you for the $10 over on Venmo, and Laura with the $40 over on PayPal. Thank you, Laura. Laura says, I'm in my 40s
When's the
and I totally
last
respect
time
you.
you've done it?
And teaching.
You know, I was arrested about a week ago.
Thank you. Nobody asked. Thank you so much, John, Laura, and Kanja for the love on Venmo and PayPal, as well as Amber with the $7 over on Venmo as well, saying another hour minimum wage in my state from the DNC. Love you, dude. $7.25 is insane. Are you like in Georgia? I feel like, yeah, that's crazy. Thank you for the love. Anyways, yeah, man, go ahead and define job, Turtle. What's a job mean in Latin?
Job? Oh, so would a person that stands on
The delay's bad. Okay, just tell us what a job is.
Okay, bud. So you don't have a job. You sit in your mom and daddy's house and have a podcast, and you consider that work?
Okay, so I asked you to define job, then you just straight up didn't define job. You just told me that I sit at my mommy and daddy's house and do a podcast. Well, I'm gonna re-ask you to define job, but while I'm doing that, it's also worth pointing out I'm not sitting in my mommy's and daddy's house. I'm sitting in a 2-bedroom condo that I fucking pay for. So wait, let's get our facts straight there, buddy. But go ahead, define job.
From panhandling. From panhandling online. From panhandling online. That's how you make your money, is you ask people for money. Oh, thank you for the 75. Thank you for the 25.
Okay.
Dude,
I feel like
I know
feel
people
like at
that
this
stand
point
on
you're
the
just
street
jealous,
that are
buddy.
homeless and do the same thing.
Yo, Jenna, thank you so much for the $20
All right, bud.
over on PayPal. Jenna says a message to the man cave
Jealous?
that thinks
No,
he's
definitely.
panhandling. They say, we love Dean so much and we are
Look at
freely
you,
giving
already
him
panhandling.
what we
Yeah.
want. It's our self-choice, not a charity. I enjoy Dean and this is a part of my appreciation. Thank you so much for the love, Jenna. I know, this guy's just obviously very jealous.
Usually when you donate money, that is charity. So define charity.
Yeah, charity would be a 501c3 or an untaxable organization which takes those
Define
funds.
charity, Dean.
Buddy. A charity would be like a nonprofit, 501c3 or 501c2, that would take all the revenue generated, either put it towards the expenditure on running the charity, and then take those funds and put it towards a charitable cause. I don't know how the IRS defines charitable cause. I think it's a pretty vague term, but it's generally just
Right,
going
and that's
after
not what the
humanitarian
comeback
things
tour
and
was
help
about.
others.
What was the comeback tour about? The Fuck America tour? That whole little shit you were doing, the Fuck America tour that didn't last because you guys were just scamming motherfuckers, trying to travel around Charlie Kirk, follow them like little puppets.
Vex, thank you so much
You
for
do
the $20
understand
over on
Democrats and
Venmo. I appreciate
Republicans
you for the $20 over on Venmo for the job. Destiny with the $5 saying Dean deserves my money. Thank you. Savannah with the $5 for the job as well. Guys, thank you so much for the love over on Venmo. Yo, can we get some W's from you for all these donations, Mr. Guest, Turtle Island? Can you show some love to the donors?
Do you know what Turtle Island is? Do you know what Turtle Island is, Mr. Dean?
I'm not gonna be willing to answer any of your questions until after you show some love to our donors. Okay, we're gonna kick him out.
To your donors? Oh, good job, guys. You gave him money for doing absolutely nothing.
Glennon! Thank you for the Leon the Kitten! I appreciate you for the love. And thank you guys so much for giving me all the money for absolutely nothing. Caitlin, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo for absolutely nothing. Thank you so much for the love, Caitlin. Lauren with the $5 over on Venmo for absolutely nothing. Thank you, Lauren. And then Ren with the $10 over at Venmo. Once again, for absolutely nothing. Thank you so much, Ren. Nicholas with the $25 over in Venmo. Money for the job. Appreciate you so much for the love. You guys are fantastic. I appreciate everyone so much for the love. Now, I did kick that guess because I'm hearing that we need to react to a clip of something Donald Trump just said. Maya, thank you for the $5 over on PayPal. Apparently, you said that we need to bomb Moscow. Dude. Trump, bomb Moscow, CNN. Let's see. Okay, this came out yesterday. Let's listen to it together. Here, audio clip was saying that he threatened to bomb Moscow and Beijing. Oh, shit. Let's listen.
To Putin, I said, if you go in to Ukraine, we'll bomb Moscow. I'm telling you, I have no choice.
Newly unveiled audio from 2024 fundraiser reveals Trump claimed to threaten to bomb the shit out of Moscow if Putin invaded Ukraine. Wait, I thought that we already knew this. This isn't new news. I swear that we already knew this. Like last time he was president. Like I thought that we already like knew that he was had threatened to bomb Moscow. That's old news, right? I don't know why this is being reran. I don't know why this is being reran. Like, yeah, this is like a new news story, like posted yesterday on CNN and New York Times. Yeah, we already knew that one. Let's go and get that next guest up in here. Everybody just do be patient while we're working on getting the next Trump supporter loaded into the live. Let's go to see what the next guest has to say. Jessica, thank you for the $5 over on PayPal. Saying panhandling, little envy is one hell of a drug. Couldn't say it better myself. Appreciate you for that love. Make sure that we're double tapping on that phone screen and go to put a Maga with your age down below in that chat. We'll get you pulled up here. for those over on YouTube that can't see what you just heard, that was a goddamn leopard gift over on TikTok. One of the largest gifts on the app. Yo, Lennon, it is so good to have you in here with us today. Thank you for the leopard. If everybody watching could please show some love to Lennon for the leopard while we're trying to find that next Trump supporter to come up here and have a conversation with us, that would be phenomenal. Seriously, thank you so much. You were phenomenal. I'm doing a date night with my girlfriend tonight, so I got to tell her what time I'm going to get off. There we go. Braylon, thank you so much for the $10 over at PayPal saying continuing my streak. You've been here for the last handful of days. Thank you for the $10, Braylon. We're going to get that next guest, Coley, up in the box. Everyone, in the meantime, make sure that we're double tapping on that phone screen and sharing out this live with a handful of friends. But we are only looking for debates. Everybody just do be patient. Right now, we are trying to find that next guest to load up and have a conversation with us. Who will it be, everybody? Who will it be? We got Antonio 2 Valid in the queue requesting to come up. I just saw a notification for an email where like, Lennon, thank you for the well dive, and I appreciate you so much for the love. That is incredibly kind of you. I just saw a notification for an email. Where my manager was emailing somebody back saying, hi name, do not do that. I wonder what they're talking about. I'll have to check in on that later. All right, we're going to get that next guest up in the box. Here we go, y'all. What's going on? You support Trump, right?
Yes, sir. How you doing, though?
I'm doing all right. You've been up here before, right?
Yeah, man. I come up here sometime.
Do we have much more new things to go over?
I mean, in my opinion, Trump's still doing an excellent fucking job, though.
Dude, I think he's doing a terrible job. Like, cutting 17 million people off of Medicaid? Dude, holy fuck, that's terrible.
Well, I feel like, you know, overall, in the first 100 odd days, we've seen a lot of positive changes in the country, though.
Okay, was it cutting 17 million people off of healthcare through a bill that cost $5 trillion? Was that one of those positive changes, buddy?
Was that one of the positive changes? I mean, I don't know if I would have done that.
Yeah, you don't know if you want to literally cut 17 million low-income people off of healthcare. I mean, I don't know if I would have done that either, right? So maybe we could agree on doing some detrimental things to this country.
So check this out. I like what he's doing with his immigration.
No, you don't. Feel like you don't know what he's doing with his immigration, and you don't know why you like it.
What do you mean?
I listen. Here's my claim. You have literally no fucking clue why you support mass deportation. Prove me wrong by telling me.
I mean, I do. I do know why I support it.
Okay, why?
Yeah. Because I feel like there should be, you know, in order for you to be in this country, you should have come here the right way. And
should have come here the right way.
If your papers ain't in line, then you gotta, yeah.
Okay, well they didn't.
Yeah,
they didn't. They're undocumented immigrants. Okay, so what we know about undocumented immigrants is that they didn't come in using the legal means of entry. Would you allow me to finish? So we know that they didn't come in using the legal means of entry. So now we have to determine what we should do with them. Should we do Plan A, mass deportation, which hurts them a lot? Just takes trillions of dollars off of our GDP, costs $2 trillion over 10 years, and increase crime rates and destabilizes our economy. Or option B, okay, which would be to offer them a pathway to residency or citizenship, make them legal, give them amnesty, which would increase our GDP, increase their productivity in the workplace, and increase the amount of money that they pay in taxes since they'll be more incentivized to work over the table, garnering higher wages, paying more in taxes since now they'll qualify for federal benefits. Which one of those plans should we do? Which one is obviously better for this country? The one that destroys the economy or the one that helps the economy?
All right, let me answer you, though. So I feel like in comparison to the last 4 fucking administrations, you know, Trump has deported the least with no due process, meaning Biden, Obama, Bush. All of them have deported more people with no due process. The shit they all are so fired up
Really?
And,
Go ahead and give me...
Yes, fucking sir.
Go ahead and give me a ruling from a single court that shows one deportation under Obama was illegal because he stripped them of their due process.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not. I want you to answer
my
question.
So are you saying that he didn't deport people with no due process?
I'm saying I've never seen evidence of it. Where's the evidence at, buddy?
Well, have you ever looked?
Have I ever looked for the evidence? Sure I have, pal. I've just never found it. What's the evidence there, bud?
Google it and tell me right quick, though. I don't have a fucking
Google
computer
it.
in
What
front of me.
do you want me to fucking
Yeah.
Google?
Well, I might know what we just fucking talked about.
What the fuck do you want me to Google?
Do what?
Do what? What do you want me to Google?
I just told you. I just told you. Obama's fucking the people who got deported with no due process. It's bigger than Trump's.
Obama's fucking people who got.
I mean, you could type it in like that if you want, but you understand what the fuck I'm saying, man.
Okay. All right. So I typed in Obama's fucking people who got deported without due. Okay, I'm sorry. That's obviously so bad faith of me.
I know.
I
know you.
That's obviously so bad faith of me. Wait, why am I doing your homework for you? By the way, when I type that in,
Because I don't have a computer. I don't have a computer right in front of me like you do.
So then should we probably talk about something else that you will be able to justify? Because like obviously, if you don't have a computer, you can't find evidence for this.
I mean, no matter what I say, you're gonna want the proof. I don't have a fucking computer.
So you just don't have proof for anything.
And
that
I tell you to look something up, and you fucking write some bullshit into Google instead of what we were talking about.
No, you can't say that
I want to look that one up.
You can't say that I didn't write in what you said. I literally wrote in what you said. But okay, I'll be a little bit better faith. If I go to Google, I type in, did Obama deport anyone without due process? Let's see what comes up. Okay.
Yeah, that's better.
Let's see. I'm not seeing any specific case. I mean, I want you to be able to demonstrate, like one specific case to me.
Oh my God! No.
Now, like I will say, right? Like we see things from like American Civil Liberties Union talking about how they prioritize speed over fairness, and what they're referring to is expedited removal. And yeah, I disagree with expedited removal. I'm not a party loyalist. I'm not a shill for the DNC. Okay, expedited removal is bad, but SCOTUS has ruled definitively that if you are removed under expedited removal, you're still granted due process. Okay? And you made a legal claim that he deported individuals without due process, legally speaking.
He did. He certainly did.
Okay, all right. Just sounds like another claim with no evidence. I'll happily wait for you to give me
All
that
right,
evidence.
so- I mean, hell, you're gonna be waiting for a minute. Like I say, I don't have a computer right now, but we can go on to the next thing. Look.
No, that's fine. What else do you want to talk about? Let's have a productive
Trump.
conversation, man.
Okay, Trump is a leader. You know, he knows how to conduct business. He knows how to fucking play his part, and he knows he's strategic, dude. Like,
Can you give
for
me an
instance,
example of his exemplar?
Yeah, tariff.
His great
Tariff
leadership
haters.
ability.
He using
Oh,
strategic
it was just
tariff.
so strategic to impose a shit ton of tariffs on Canada and then revoke them, and then to reimpose them, and then to revoke them, and then to reimpose them, and then to try to negotiate a better trade deal while also calling the first trade deal you negotiated with him in his first term shit, and then dropping negotiations and relinquishing all tariffs, but then
So-
sending them a letter alongside other countries saying he's going to reimpose the tariffs. Yeah, man. That is some
So
great
are
strategy.
you for or against tariffs? What you feel about tariffs?
Come on, but now you're shifting the conversation because I asked you to give me an
I'm
example
not
of his
because
good
I
leader-
want you to tell me something. Like,
Chat, these people are going to give me my brain.
Biden-
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. These-
And the Biden administration, did they lower tariffs or did they constantly raise them?
I think that they like increased or maybe kept tariffs on China.
Yeah,
That's it.
okay, so they increased. They were in a trade war. Trade war with China.
Right, but that's not the same
so-
as tariffs on every country in the world.
Right, but I want to feel you out. See how you feel about the tariffs.
I don't like tariffs
Why?
because they make poor people disproportionately pay more for the things they need to live. They cause inflation.
Dude. I'm gonna tell you something. Man.
Tell me.
All right, so I'm gonna tell you this. Trump, if I had to handpick one fucking person in the world to be president, it probably wouldn't be Trump. But what the options we was given, dude.
All right, I'm gonna kick you now. Goodbye. What do I do to find like a person just to have a normal conversation with? Like we're at like 2.5 hours now. We're like this is bad. Like We're just looking for Trump supporters. If you're in that queue, make sure that means that you're a Trump supporter. Like this is bad, dude. These people are, oh, jeez, dude. Jeez, dude. We're going to move on to the next guest. Braylon, Bjorn, thank you for the $12 over on PayPal. If I'm mispronouncing your name, I apologize. It's like Bjorn. I'm sure that there's a correct pronunciation. That's not it. And I do apologize for that. But thank you for the $12. They say, restraining yourself while having to have productive conversations with Maga is hard emotional labor. Dude, I've aged like 10 years in 3 months. Bjorn. Okay, that's how you pronounce it. Bjorn. See, I knew I was mispronouncing it. Bjorn. Thank you so much for the love, Bjorn. As well as John with the $20 on Venmo saying job land where jobs grow and job ease. I have no clue what you were saying. If I had a guess, you're just mocking that last guest. Thank you for the $20. Very kind. Thank you so much for the love. Let's go to move on to the next guest, Jack Scott, right now, y'all. Lola, thank you for the $10 over on Venmo. Lola says, hey, Dean, thank you so much for being a great advocate for all people. You truly are an inspiration to me, and you and Parker both inspired me to study political science in college. That's awesome. Enjoy studying poli-sci. When I took a poli-sci class, I hated it. So good on you for being able to do something that I can't. Wendy with the $10 saying, hi, Dean. Thank you so much for speaking up about the important things. Appreciate you for that love, Wendy. We love you here. As well as Melody with a 5, Sari with a 5, Kelsey with a 2, Nicholas with a 5 as well. You guys are awesome.
Yo.
What's up, man? How old are you?
I'm 18.
Okay. What year were you born in?
07.
Okay. All right. And why do you support Trump?
I'm not a Trump supporter. I just can't believe you doxed an innocent father. See ya, buddy.
Don't leave yet. Don't leave, buddy. Thank you for not leaving yet, Jack. And there Jack goes. He's left and he's ran away. He's left and he's ran away. He's begging Jack to stay on the live, and it just didn't work. I did neither of those things. Jack. I'd love to talk to you about it, but you kind of seem like a little bit of a coward to me. Everybody in the chat is honing in on his claim that he's innocent. I'd like to hone in on both. You cannot give a cogent definition of doxing.
Hello.
That would apply to what I did. What's up, BG?
Hello?
Do you support Trump?
No, I just want to say that I think what you're doing.
I'm sorry, man. I bet that you were about to say something incredibly kind, and I really do appreciate you for that. Unfortunately, we are just looking for Trump supporters now. I always feel really bad kicking out people like you, dude. Just know that I love you, and know that that's a great thing. Thank you for your kindness. What is going on, Emmanuel? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
18. What year were you born in?
2007.
2007. Okay. So why do you support Trump?
I support Trump because big toes.
Okay, goodbye. Lisa, what's up? Do you support Trump?
No, I'm Australian, but thanks for letting me up.
Bye, Lisa. Moving on. Here we go, everybody. Let's go to see what the next guest has to say. Follow the rules, y'all. Dude, there's straight up a leftist in the queue. What is this guy doing? I gotta bring this guy up. This guy's been in the queue all day, and he's in my streams frequently. David, there's no way that you don't know the rules. Why are you in the queue?
Dean, I'm from Congo, please. Can I say something, please?
You're from Congo?
Quick speech. Yeah, I am, yeah. Democratic Republic of Congo.
Dang, yeah, bro. Feel free. I want to hear from you.
I have really bad social anxiety, so I'm just gonna have to try and lower my heart rate real quick before.
I want to hear about the Congo.
Okay.
Tell me about the deal that Trump had brokered, and how that's affected Congolese individuals, and how M23 is still genociding Congolese individuals, and they're funded by Rwanda.
Alright, so I've actually put this in this sort of speech because I have social anxiety, so I can't usually lose my train of thought, so I'll just read it. What I've said. So it says, I'm from the Democratic Republic of Congo, a country now that is being torn apart by a violent group called M23. I live in the UK, but I'm scared. Not for myself, for my family back home. I don't speak the local languages, Swahili, Lingala, Shaluba, but my dad does. When I visit, my family tells me stories I'll never forget. Before I go on, I want to say this. I don't mean to insult anyone here. You're all probably far smarter than me. I'm just trying to share what I've seen and heard, and I hope you all will all hear it too. Recently, Congo made a deal with Washington with Rwanda, but the deal has changed almost nothing. In fact, we had to give up most of our minerals just for a trade deal, minerals that your country benefits from. I have family across Congo, from Kinshasa to Goma, and when I visit, I hear stories I will never forget. People dragged from their homes at night, families hacked apart with machetes. One of my relatives in your family of 4 that were slaughtered at nighttime, their limbs amputated. This is not a war. This is a nightmare. This is a fucking genocide. And when I saw the fear in my dad's eyes when telling the story, when I heard his voice shaking, I realized how dark this world really is. I spoke to my family in Congo a few days ago. They told me Rwanda forces are still occupying eastern Congo. Here's the part people don't talk about. Over 70% of the world's cobalt, the stuff in your phone and electric cars, come from my country. Congo is estimated to hold 20 trillion in untapped mineral wealth. If we had access to all of this wealth, we would be the second richest country, just below the United States. But we can't use it because of neocolonialism, because our people are being killed for it. Our people are being fucking slaughtered. It's not new. Congo has suffered this way since King Leopold II, when millions of us were enslaved and slaughtered. It's still happening. Only now the world looks away. I support Palestine because I believe in justice, but Congo is being silenced. This genocide is going underground. So I have to ask, when will it stop? When will my people stop being killed? I'm only in my first year in university. All of your fan base are probably far educated than I am, but they have not seen what I saw in my dad's eyes. They have not seen the shakiness in my dad's voice when he had to tell me these stories of his family. They've not heard the pain in my family's voice. This is why I'm speaking now. Dean, I am asking you with your fan base, please make a video about Congo. This is a genocide. This is not just a war.
How about I do you one better? So I've been working out the specifics with Athena. I'm sure you know who she is.
I do. I was in her live. Sorry for interrupting. Yeah.
Kimumba, it's a city in Congo, and it costs $720 per month to have clean water available for the 50,000 people in the city. I've been organizing this with Athena. We're gonna do this soon. It was kind of postponed by all this shit going on recently. It was supposed to be this week, and now obviously it's been pushed off from being this week. But we're gonna do a fundraiser for the $720 required to provide clean drinking water for the 50,000 people in Kimumba. I think that we'll be able to raise that in like literally 5 minutes. Like, think about it, guys. $720 with like 15,000 live viewers. We could raise that in 5 minutes. In 5 minutes, we could provide clean drinking water for 50,000 people for 30 days. Now, we're not doing that right now. So nobody go start spamming and flooding my Venmos and my PayPals. Don't do that. We're not doing that right now because I want it to be structured in such a way where we know how much is being raised. We know when the goal is hit. And we know that it's going to be going to the right people. And that'll be a little bit more of a structured fundraiser. We could expect that next week. And, you know, a few months ago, me and Parker and a handful of other people did a fundraiser for a handful of containers of things that individuals that have experienced the genocide in the Congo need to live. And yeah, we'll be doing that again really soon. David, I appreciate you so much for joining me, man. What's going on in the Congo is like seriously insane. It is so fucking deplorable. And then like, yeah, you were spot on with what you said about the deal that Trump signed. It just gave Washington more mineral rights over the Congo.
Yes.
And it didn't change anything because the Rwandan troops, for the most part, aren't the people that are committing the genocide on the Congolese. That's M23. And who's funding M23? Rwanda. So although they might have pulled back some of their troops, they're still funding the militants of an M23 gang. And then you also have troops from Uganda that are in Congo as well that are also being funded by Rwanda. It's insane. David, appreciate you for coming up. Maybe I'd love for you to come up on my live. I'm going to drop you a follow. I don't know what account I dropped you a follow on. I'm sure you'll see it. in your
Yeah.
inbox about that fundraiser. Maybe you could join it for a second or two and share some more of the experiences of your family members. Stay safe, man. I hope that your family stay safe as well. And thank you so much for your time.
Dean, have a fantastic rest of your day. I love you, man. Take care.
Bye. Somebody in my chat on YouTube says they need awareness for what's going on, not just the same charity stuff. Okay, well, the same charity stuff on live in front of 15,000 people drives awareness, but also drives like immediate material change. Like you're not going to sit here and act like $720 to give clean drinking water to 50,000 people for 30 days isn't a good thing. Like isn't a good thing for us to do. You know what I mean? Both are incredibly required. And like now, it's been a handful of months since we did our fundraiser for the, let's see here, the cargo shipments that gave a bunch of supplies to innocent Congolese individuals that are being affected by the genocide. And now I've even seen pictures and videos of all of the supplies and necessary things being taken out of these cargo containers that me, Parker, and every single one of y'all in that live helped pay for. To materially benefit the innocent Congolese individuals. I've seen the pictures, the videos. So it's very meaningful. It's very impactful. And that's a very, very good cause. But let's go to move on to the next guest. You guys will be hearing a little bit more. Somebody in the chat says, thanks, white savior. Dude, you suck. You absolutely suck. Yeah, man. Don't even get me started on that. Talking about raising $700 for clean drinking water for 50,000 people, automatically a bad thing. White savior, never do it. I swear to God, like I want to, you know what? And they're like a leftist. How about you come up here? No. Before we move on to the next guest, Nour, N-O-U-R, come up here. Come up here. Come up here. Join my live. Explain the view. Explain the view. Stop chirping in the comment section. Explain the view. Dude, now somebody else is saying you think you're a hero. Bro, yeah, guys. I think, yeah, dude, what are we doing here? Are these people just like insane? like, you have to be like, that's crazy. I don't know. Welcome in, dirtbag. Do you support Trump?
I have no idea how I got on here.
Okay, bye. Moving on to the next guest. We're going to move on. Jack Savior. Oh, Jack is back. You're the man that said I doxed an innocent dad, right?
Yo, what's good?
I have a question.
How's it going?
Do innocent fathers advocate for parents to have the right to sexually exploit their children?
Yeah, so that's my bad on that. That front, I saw TikTok.
You watched the video?
I was very misinformed.
Hey, man.
I'd like to.
Appreciate you for admitting that, man. We're going to move on to the next guest. Appreciate you for admitting that, man. That's why I made the video, Jack. That's why I made the video, okay? You fell victim to the propaganda, all right? And I mean, it'd be hard not to. You don't know much about me. You don't watch my content. And you see like 5 posts on your For You page, all with like 50K likes saying that Dean doxed an innocent dad. Okay. I understand that you'll believe that. I understand. That's why I made the video, Jack. Appreciate you for admitting that. Have a good rest of your day, bro. Let's go and see what the next guest has to say, everybody. We're going to get that next Trump supporter up here. What's going on? Do you support Trump thumbs?
Well, no, I don't. I'm not even sure how I got the request.
No worries. Some Trump supporter in the comment section says, I'll pledge 360 to that cause right now for debate. Okay, Sam. Hop in that queue, buddy. I'll happily pull you up here. Sam. You're not in the queue, and I can invite you. That makes me think that you're live banned. Let's go to get that next guest, Brianna, up in the box. Here we go, y'all. You're in the queue. He says he's in the queue. What's up, Brianna? Do you support Trump? Okay, Brianna left. I'll look for Sam. Sam, man, you are not in the queue. I'll keep looking for you, though, bro. Like I said, I think that you might be live banned. What's going on, Marta? Do you support Trump?
So
Take that as a no. Have a good one, Marta. Moving on. We got Matthew loading up. What's up, Matthew? Do you support Trump?
Nah, Dane. I live in Australia, buddy, so I don't follow your politics.
Okay. Bye, Matthew. Guys, we're just looking to debate Trump supporters. Please. All right. Yo, Timberly, thank you so much for the $20 over on Super Chat. Saying, as somebody from Mississippi, you give me hope. You and Parker are making the differences I've dreamt of since I could comprehend any of these things. Thank you both for fighting for our futures. I appreciate you for that love, Timberly. You are awesome. Show some love to Timberly down below in that chat. What's up, Baba Yaga? Do you support Trump?
No, but I love you though.
Okay. All right. For everybody in the queue that doesn't support Trump, I will ask you at this time to politely leave the queue. I really appreciate you guys for your kindness, but we want to debate a Trump supporter. Meg, thank you for the $50 over Venmo, saying longtime listener and happy to support your ability to provide a free education. I'm sorry that Mega doesn't like you. I don't know how you have the patience. I appreciate you for the $15, Meg. Let's get 150 Meg W's MEG, as well as Mary with the $10 saying thank you, Dean, for what you do. I'm a elementary school teacher in COBVSD, and we teach kids consent. It is crucial for kids to speak about essay, and to avoid essay. Teaching this gives them power over their bodies, as they should have. We use blue sky bridges. Yeah, man, it is really important to teach kids about how to speak up about essay. It's good. Good teacher, Mary. Thank you for the love. All right, moving on to the next guests. We got Luke loading up to the box. Zoe, thank you for the $1, as well as Robin. Hey, man, thank you for the $11 over Venmo, saying you deserve every donation because putting up with these unintelligent callers is a job. I'm not gonna lie, it's been pretty tough today, but I appreciate you for the love, and I don't think I deserve anything. Jess, thank you for the $25 over Venmo from 13 minutes ago, saying thank you for reminding me that sane and empathetic people exist. Thank you for the love, Jess. You were phenomenal. Show some love to Jess down below. Welcome into You Support Trump.
Yes.
How old are you?
I am 1807.
I think that you came up earlier and you were a fetus. Yeah, that's the same Luke. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next guest. Here we go, everybody. We got Mr. Clutch Cookie loading up. Danielle, thank you so much for the $25 over on PayPal. Danielle says, you're a good man, an intelligent soul, and a leader. Love you like a little bro. Danielle, thank you so much for the love. That is incredibly kind of you. Show some love to Danielle down below. Thank you for the $25. As well as Mr. Clutch. Well, what's going on? Do you support Trump?
Yes, I do.
Okay, why do you support the worst president of your life?
Say that one more time. Like, I'm cooking steak right now currently. I wasn't expecting to be on so soon.
Nah, bro, focus on that steak. You don't want to ruin that crust, man. Like, I'm being dead ass. Request once you're done with that steak. I'm not gonna have you ruin a steak for a debate. I know the attention that those things take. You know, make sure to get that good crust. Let's go to move on to the next guest. Here we go, y'all. Everyone, just give us a minute here. What's going on? Do you support Trump?
Yeah, I do.
How old are you?
I'm 20 years old.
Phenomenal. Why do you support Trump, who I consider to be the worst president of your life?
Well, that's your opinion. I support him just because of the mass deportation, and I'll give you a reason why.
Oh, happily. Let's hear it.
I think so. People coming in this country and they're like working. I fuck with that. Like I completely fuck with that. But them not paying taxes, them not giving into the society, it's just it's a long process, and they need to go. It's my opinion.
So here's my thoughts on mass deportation. I think it is one of the most indefensible policies in American history. Like, truly, I think it is just one of those things that our government is doing that has no pros and only cons. And I think that there's a handful of categories of people that kind of fit under the umbrella of supporting mass deportation. And one of those categories is going to be falling to misinformation, okay? I think that a lot of people support it out of misinformation. And in fact, Alex, I think that you're one of those people. So you kind of just like promoted this idea that undocumented immigrants are a drain on the economy. The economy helps them. They don't help the economy. They don't pay taxes and they get benefits. Well, let's see what the true information is. It is a fact that they do pay taxes, $100 billion per year, in fact. It is also a fact that they do not qualify for federal benefits like Medicaid, Medicare, or Social Security. It is also a fact that, no, they're not a drain on the economy. They significantly uphold the economy. The Center on American Progress tells us that if they were all removed tomorrow, our GDP would fall by $1.1 trillion through $1.7 trillion. So in other words, they help the economy, they pay taxes, and they boost the GDP.
Well, I got one thing for you. So I used to work in a fencing company. I used to work in roofing when I was younger. Yeah. And I've seen like multiple immigrants come in and like they could just get paid under the table. Okay. That's not taxable. So in my eyes,
so maybe you have seen that. Maybe you have seen that. Maybe you have. I agree. I agree that there is some undocumented immigrants that work under the table. Just like there's some citizens that work under the table. In fact, I'll even go to the extent of saying that undocumented immigrants are much more likely to work under the table than citizens. But let's evaluate our reasons why, okay? Actually, before we evaluate the reasons why undocumented immigrants are more likely to work under the table, I also want to point out that still yet, even though they're more likely to do so, a lot of them don't. A lot of them work over the table and pay taxes, $100 billion per year. We already pointed that out. But now let's examine why undocumented immigrants are more likely to work under the table. Well, one reason for this would be is they don't receive benefits off the taxes that they pay to the federal government. So why would they want to pay taxes to the federal government? They don't qualify for Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security. They can't even file for a tax return. So they're actually getting taxed more disproportionate to citizens. They're just simply less incentivized to do so. Now, what's a way to fix this? What if we were to offer them residency or citizenship? What if we were to offer them a solution so they did qualify for those federal benefits and they could file for a tax return? They'd be just as incentivized to work over the table as citizens because they would be citizens. They'll pay more taxes without any material change in their employment. Now, another reason why they might be more likely to work under the table is because of exploitative business practices of the employer. Think about it. They're under the threat of being deported, removed from this country, ripped from their family, and sent back over the border. That can be capitalized on and exploited on behest of the hand of an employer looking for undocumented immigrants to pay less and pay under the table so they don't have to pay their share of the taxes and they could pay them lower wages than citizens on average. Well, if we gave those undocumented immigrants more bargaining power against their employers to reduce the likelihood that they can be exploited, we wouldn't see as many employers seeking them out to pay them under the table. All right. How can we give them more bargaining power? By giving them residency or citizenship. So it looks like all of the issues that we could point out here are easily fixed by mass amnesty, not by mass deportation. Once again, the reason there would be, if you're examining the issue of some undocumented immigrants getting paid under the table and not paying taxes, well, guess what? They're still spending that money in the economy, upholding the GDP. And there's still a lot of undocumented immigrants that do pay taxes. So you do mass deportation, none of these people are contributing to the GDP, and none of these people are paying taxes.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one, but like in a sense of like leaving our, can I switch the topic real quick? Because I agree with you. I
mean, I don't want to switch the topic. Like, I truly want you to like think about and respond to what I said there. If you want me to break it down in like smaller segments, I can. I really just want to demonstrate that mass deportation is like truly just like a really indefensible policy. And I understand. Listen, dude, I totally understand how you might have been consumed by misinformation and support it. I can't even fault you for that. It's just like so upheld by the institution. Even some people on the left, they just scream this in the media. They'll tell it to your face. Like after this conversation, I truly think if you're a good faith actor, you change your mind. So I do want you to give me some pushback on what I just said there.
Okay, so for the people who have like come through like legally, you know what I'm saying? They have to wait a very long time to do so. If you just let a bunch of people and give them all these like bargaining rights and give them all this stuff to like get into the economy faster and have their own way to pay taxes and get employed correctly, then you're just like throwing away everything else for the other people waiting in, trying to get in like lawfully.
Not if you offer them that same process. I think that undocumented immigrants and all legal immigrants should be offered the identical process, which is something similar to mass amnesty, where as long as you don't have prior violent offenses or overwhelmingly bad non-violent criminal offenses, or like outstanding warrants from other countries, there's a lot, you should be offered the same process to become a resident or a citizen.
I can agree with that. Yes, that makes sense.
Right. And that's the view of not just the Democrats, but the far left. Isn't that crazy? That's not
It is a little crazy, but
right?
I do have some like.
See how I can just explain it in a way that makes it make
more
sense.
left. I'll view left, but I'm in the middle, man. Like I can't completely go left because there's just some things I don't think is right that the left does.
Oh no, man! I don't think that everybody has it spot on all the time. I'm just pointing out that this one belief is something that you hold to. That's true of the far left. But yeah, man. If you don't have any pushback there, maybe what are some other points that you agree on?
So going back to the border, like I'm part of the U.S. Army, like, and we had the border open for 4 years. And a lot of people, like a lot of bad people could have got in. And that's just doesn't sit well with me. It makes me uncomfortable a little bit, especially in my shoes living on a military base, if you get what I'm saying. Like it just,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that, humans have this aptitude to just identify anything that they don't know as bad. And we literally don't know who the undocumented immigrants are because they're undocumented immigrants, so you just label them as bad. But the statistics tell a different story. The statistics tell us that undocumented immigrants are 2.5 times less likely to commit violent crimes, 3 times less likely to commit property crimes, and 3.5 times less likely to commit petty crimes.
Okay, I agree with that, but a percentage doesn't mean all of them are good. If you get what I'm saying, like
Right.
one out of
Well, it
100
just means
people
more of them are good per capita when compared to citizens.
But if they were in legal, like if we made a thing where they could come in legally, it would make the problem go away. Where terrorists don't have a way to get into our country.
I mean, that's why I earlier told you that I think that an expedited path to residency or citizenship shouldn't just be extended to undocumented immigrants, but also legal immigrants, because ultimately the root incentive for undocumented entry is going to be unattainable legal means of entry. That is the problem. Think about it. Nobody wants to be an undocumented immigrant, not being able to file for a tax return, get paid lower wages, not be able to drive a car legally, get a loan to buy a house, get Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, and all of these things, not go to a lot of schools, be discriminated under the constant threat of being deported. So why if millions of people choose to do it, it's because they want a higher quality of life. And they just simply don't have the time to wait 25 years to do it the quote-unquote legal way, right? So what we need to do is we need to make those legal means of entry into America significantly faster. It'll eradicate the incentive for 99.9% of all undocumented entry. And the moment where we could get to the point where we truly do observe border policy that is fast and free for everybody that should qualify, excluding those with prior violent offenses and so on, that's when we implement the strict and strong border security to shut down all of the undocumented entries, because the only undocumented entries that we'd see then are truly people that shouldn't be in this country. But with our border policy right now, there is people that are entering into this country with the use of undocumented means that I'd say should be in the country, right? So I don't think that now is the time for that strict and certain shutdown, putting the Band-Aid on the bullet wound, only further exacerbating the issues with illegal ports of entry, and then doing nothing to eliminate that incentive for the undocumented entry.
Yeah, of course, but you can't just do that overnight. I get it's a long process, and that's the point I'm trying to make, is that
has Donald Trump furthered that process at all in the last 10 years?
I mean, you could say so, but
he's never advocated for policy to make the legal means of entry into this country faster. In fact, the one time our Congress in the last 10 years has tried to pass policy to do that, he told Republicans to vote against it.
It's just, I understand what you're saying, because I know that whoever's in power on the left or the right influences whatever happens a lot. And that's where the left and the right butt heads so much and don't get any problem solved. It's really disgusting. That's the only thing I don't like about our democracy.
Right. So now that we understand that Donald Trump has done absolutely nothing to fix the true issues with the legal means of entry into this country that has incentivized undocumented entry, let's talk about what he has done. He's banned or attempted to ban birthright citizenship for the children of undocumented immigrants born on American soil. That's a violation of the 14th Amendment. You said that you're in the Army. You took an oath to uphold the Constitution. That EO that Donald Trump passed violated the Constitution. In other words, you took an oath to hold disdain in whatever the opposite of support is against that EO and the Trump administration.
You're correct. I'll agree with you on that. Yes.
You also played judge, jury, and executioner with Rodrigo Garcia. He sent him to CICOT in El Salvador illegally. It was ruled by SCOTUS on April 10th, 9-0. It was a legal deportation. And then when Rodrigo Garcia was in CICOT in El Salvador, he was beaten, tortured. He was sent to kneel from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. And if he fell out of exhaustion, he would have been beat by the guards. He said he was beat by the guards. He lost 31 pounds in 3 weeks. Absolutely deplorable conditions from an illegal deportation by the Trump administration. And when the Trump administration got word it was illegal and that SCOTUS had ruled they had to facilitate and oversee his return, they said he's never coming back. Just the totalitarian authoritarianism, dystopian nightmare. This guy was single-handedly playing judge, jury, and executioner, all three branches of government, sentencing this guy to get beaten and tortured based upon an allegation. Didn't even see a day in court. Dude, absolutely unreal.
I get what you're saying, but the same thing happens to the football players when they get allegations that are false about a girl that he was messing with. It could go the same way. It can ruin a whole person's.
No, that's not true. That's going to be socially. All right. There's a big difference between how we approach these things socially speaking and legally speaking. Like, I think that socially speaking, we need to treat allegations of SA with utmost seriousness. But legally speaking, we can't say because of an allegation with seemingly little evidence to back it, not of SA, but of being a member of a gang, that we could just send this guy to a death camp to be tortured for a month.
I agree with you.
Even
but
after SCOTUS rules, it's
Can I
illegal.
address your comments real quick? Like they're all saying it's stolen land. You can't say that for being on stolen land. Can we talk about that real quick?
Well, I mean, you're moving away from everything I've just said.
I've just seen it so much in the comments. I'm just trying to bring it up.
For sure. You could give your thoughts on that, but you're just completely moving away from everything I've just said.
I agree, but the thing is, I agree with you.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you agree with everything I've said, and I'm obviously some crazy liberal paid by the DNC on the internet. I mean, it means like you're not that big of not as big of a Trump supporter that you'd think you are.
I've seen those allegations. I don't believe in those.
I was making a joke, but my point is maybe you are, if you agree with everything that I've said, you may not be truly MAGA.
I could possibly, like, I've said I've gone 50-50, so like I don't. Trump runs his mouth. Trump does this. I don't always agree.
So far it's not 50-50. It's like 100-0. Like, if you agree with everything I've said, so far it's been 100-0.
Okay,
50-50.
I get what you're saying, but can I address the stolen land stuff?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so like, how can you say it's on stolen land when we bought the Louisiana Purchase? I get it wasn't the full, like, all Texas and California and New Mexico and Arizona, but we also won a war against Mexico.
Oh my goodness gracious. Okay.
What do you mean, oh my goodness gracious?
So the war that we won against Mexico was us just invading their territory, which they retaliated against, and then we took it. And then about the Louisiana Purchase. So that was a land deal in the 19th century where we bought some land from France. Well, France stole that land from indigenous Americans, right? And the way that we typically understand property rights in like social and political philosophy, we break it down into three things: acquisition, transfer, and relinquishment. In order to justly acquire property, you like have to have some type of consent from the previous property owner, or nobody must be living on the property or land. So France didn't justly acquire the property from the indigenous Americans because they stole it from them without their consent. So therefore, that was an unjust transfer of property to America.
I get what you're saying there, but it's
by the way, that's like libertarian property right views as well. So
that's just
like libertarians are like on the right. So that's a pretty far right leaning view that describes why the Louisiana Purchase was still an unjust transfer of property because it was not justly acquired by France in the first place.
I get what you're saying, but that's just how it worked back then. If a country went into some place and ruled it, just like the UK came over to colonize and make the 13 colonies, it's the exact same thing. It's just how it worked back then. It's not like it would apply today.
So I feel like when people say that's just how it worked back then, I think what you mean to say is it just happened a lot back then. There was a lot of people that had their land stolen. I don't see how that changes the sentiment in saying that it was stolen land.
I get what you're saying, yes, but it's I wouldn't classify it as a stolen land. I would say it was taken over. I get what you're saying. It's still stolen land, but it's taken over.
I mean, if somebody takes over your house by forcing you out with more advanced weaponry than you have, maybe you have a handgun, they have a nuclear weapon, and then they lived in it for the next 300 years, we'd say that house was stolen. I think that the goal here shouldn't be to argue that this land wasn't stolen from indigenous Americans. It very obviously was, right?
Yeah, I agree with that. Yes.
I think our goal should be to act as benevolently and morally as possible today, 300 years later, in consideration of these facts, to create the best country that we can, given that it's already a country stolen by forefathers 200 or 300 years ago. Okay? That's our goal today. And in that goal, of course, we have to consider that this land was stolen. In that goal, of course, we have to consider that we also stole land from Mexico. In that goal, we also have to consider that the land that we acquired from France was from an unjust transfer. Now, I mean, how does this relate to a conversation about mass deportation? Well, that would be the argument that you see in the chat. Nobody's illegal on stolen land. And yeah, I mean, you said that you wanted to respond to the people in the chat. There you go.
I appreciate letting me respond.
I do. I mean, do you want to respond? Because once again, I just don't think that you could combat the claim that it's stolen land.
Well, I get what you're saying. What I said was that we took it over. I get it. It's still stolen, but it's our territory.
It's like our land now after we stole it.
Like, let's say when we went to Iraq or Afghanistan, it's still the exact same thing. We held bases over there. Did we take their land? Yes.
I know nothing about Iraq and Afghanistan insofar as how we acquired military bases in the region.
What do you mean?
Like I don't know if the Afghani government before the takeover the Taliban gave us consent to build those bases. I don't know. I don't know those specifics.
Well, not Iraq. Iraq definitely did not let us because we jumped in 2003, and then
you're talking about our invasion. Well, at least at the stabilization of the region, sure.
Yeah.
Now, do you want to respond to any of the points that I laid out about why mass deportation is a bad thing? Because I'm giving you an argument just to show that mass deportation.
That's what I said. I did agree with you to make it more adjustable and make it so they could gain citizenship easy.
Okay, great. So now you no longer support mass deportation. I mean, that's a really good reason why you shouldn't support Trump, because he is doing what you don't support.
I mean, but I get some. 4 presidents before him also did not the exact same thing, of course, but they still deported a lot of people. I wouldn't call it mass deportation, but
I agree. Okay, they did deport a lot of people. I just generally think that the left is going to be better than the right. I'm going to vote for harm reduction, as well as I see the left showing more promise and becoming more progressive in the context of immigration policy. Look at people like Zohran Mamdani out in New York City, right? So I mean, we're obviously going to be voting for the lesser of two evils within these regards.
I don't agree with that.
Of course they'll do it better. I mean, so we agreed that.
How is Kamala?
I'll give you a very clear description of how the left would do it better. We agreed that we want mass amnesty. Both you and me agreed that. We agreed that we want undocumented immigrants to have a pathway to residency or citizenship. Stop talking, please. Now I'm going to tell you how the left does it better. Okay, so if we both agree that undocumented immigrants should have a pathway to residency or citizenship, who's doing it better? The guy that's illegally deporting illegally deporting some undocumented immigrants under an operation of deporting all undocumented immigrants, including sending some to death camps in El Salvador, or somebody like Obama, who focused on individuals with prior criminal offenses and created programs such as DACA to give nonviolent undocumented immigrants work permits. Who's doing it better in relation to our goal of mass amnesty? Obviously, Obama would be. Okay? So there's just one example of how the left is obviously closer, ideologically speaking, to what our goal of mass amnesty would be than the right. And in reality, every 2 and 4 years when we have to vote for candidates, right, we're not voting for perfection, we're voting for progression. And if the left is showing more progression than the right, we would prefer the left over the right.
Yes, but as speaking, wasn't Kamala Bordazar, but I get it that they didn't have the Senate through those 4 years in the House.
I don't know why. Am I pivoting? Because instead of addressing my claim that the left ideologically closer aligns with their goal of mass amnesty than the right, you're talking about how Kamala Harris was a border czar.
Well, no. You mentioned Obama and how he did it better, so you went in the past.
I mean, do you want an example from Biden as well? Biden also served as Obama's VP, and then very similarly focused more on undocumented immigrants with prior violent offenses, and didn't deport anybody illegally, didn't send anybody to a death camp in El Salvador, and certainly didn't build a detention center in Florida labeled Alligator or Alcatraz, where detainees are getting treated worse than inmates at maximum security prisons, including fucking Diddy, getting served 1 meal a day, reporting that has maggots in it without the water to shower for 4 days. Okay, dude. Biden was certainly better than Trump. Okay, all right. He closer, he was closer ideologically speaking to what our goals of immigration policy related to mass amnesty would be here.
So wait, I see your comments. Your comments are saying that she wasn't border czar.
Don't respond to my comments. Respond to me. You told me that I was giving you an example that was too far off in history. So then I just reframed and gave you an example related to Biden. Okay, Biden was president 167 days ago. So what's your response now?
I'm saying that Kamala was also his VP, and was she border czar or not? I might have been missing.
A relation upper management of the southern border has nothing to do with what our conversation is about, because we're conversing about what we should do with the undocumented immigrants that are already in this country, and I'm detailing to you how the left closer aligns with our goals compared to the right. Why don't you want to respond to that?
Okay, I'll respond. So,
please.
Okay, just give me a second. I need to think. Because I get your claims.
How about this? Real quick.
Your
Take a
claims
second.
are right.
Take a second to
Your,
think.
claim,
I'm gonna.
your claims are right. I'll give you that. And that the left, and you've gave him really good points about the left doing way more progression on the southern border than just closing it down like MAGA has in mass deportation. I can agree with that. So I'll give you, you successfully won the debate. I got nothing for you, dude.
Actually, you do have one thing for me, hopefully, which would be an incentive to do more research. But seriously, man, I'm telling you, it'll be like the best thing ever for you. It was the best thing ever for me. When I was like younger, I was like 16. I was like staunchly pro MAGA, pro Trump. I used to get into like little debates with my liberal friends all the time because I love Trump so much. Big Andrew Tate guy too. I mean, all that shit, you know, but after doing my research for a handful of years and thinking critically about these things, obviously I've came to different conclusions. So it's really worth doing your research. I appreciate your humility and able to concede a debate. And I hope that you have a good rest of your day.
Okay, you do too, Dean. I appreciate it.
Somebody in the chat says shame. Yeah, that is shameful, dude. I take great shame in who I was at 16. Moving on to the next guest. Here we go, everybody. Let's get that next guest up in here. We're going to get Sheldon Holder loaded into the live. And Veteran, thank you so much for the $50 over on YouTube. Super Chat, I appreciate you, Veteran. Veteran says, sending Boomer respect and contribution towards your cerebral armor. There is such a small percentage of callers that can actually present a respectable debate. Keep fighting the good fight, sir. Yeah, I agree, Veteran. That last guy was probably the most respectable debate of the day, and we've been live for 3 hours and 10 minutes. It's been hell today, let me tell you. Thank you for the $50, though. Let's get 500 Veteran W's down below. As well as Katie with the $10 saying, hi, Dean, I like your opinion. Should I keep working for my MAGA bosses? Every day it gets a little harder, especially when they are in town like they are now. Thank you for everything. Man, I mean, that depends on like you and like where you're at in your life. If you have any other job opportunities, do what's best for you. Like I'm not going to like shame anybody that works for a company where you have a boss that's a Trump supporter. We have to work. That's a thing. It's hard to find a job. That's also a fact. So yeah, but you know, it's up to you. Bryce, thank you for the $10 over on PayPal saying your live streams have been fire. Just want to say thanks for giving me hope. I appreciate you for the $10, Bryce. Show some love to Bryce down below. As well as Miriam with the $10 as well. Thank you so much for the love, Miriam. And then Danielle, thank you so much for the $25 over on PayPal. Saying you're a good man, an intelligent soul, and a leader. Love you like a little bro. Danielle, you're always in here. I appreciate you so much for your kindness. Yeah, let's show some love to Danielle down below. As well as Nicole, thank you so much for the $50 donation over on Venmo. And Jay with the $50 donation over on Venmo as well. Jay says this is for your heart and your capacity to raise money for this pain. Jay, I love you. Jay says, please do not let the cowards get under your skin. I look forward to your notification. I love having you in here. Thank you so much for your kindness, Jay. And another kind message. Show some more love to Jay down below. And then Nicole, the $50 donation says, keep up the great work. I lost majority of my family due to the Trump cult in your debates. Give me hope that they can return to reality someday. Nicole, it's possible. Let me tell you, the best thing, the biggest impact I've ever had on my mother's life is literally being a liberal. So she's a crazy MAGA cult member. Has been for a while. She's seriously like one of those people that's been banned off of Facebook 27 times because of like being pro-Trump. I've been working her towards like the anti-Trump view, and I almost have her there. She started to now like debate Trump supporters. Like if you were to tell me that that's something my mother would have been doing 3 years ago, I would have looked at you and I would have been like, you're insane, never gonna happen. Thank you for the love. Sage with the $10. Thank you so much for the love, Sage. I do appreciate you for the love. And Tristan with the $5 as well. Thank you everyone so much for your kindness. Over on Venmo and PayPal, you guys are the best. Welcome in, Sheldon. Do you support Trump? Sheldon is not here. Quite frankly, Sheldon is not here. It looks like the chat has chosen a... Oh, Sam is in the queue. This is a guy that said he would donate $350. Hey, Sam.
Hey, Dean. How's it going? I'm going to donate to you first before we get this started, so no one thinks I'm lying.
Are you seriously going to do that?
I'm seriously going to do that. I do support the Congo. I did vote for Trump in 2016, and I do want to debate you on something, but I'm going to do that first. Is Venmo the right way to do that?
Send it over PayPal, because right now I can't withdraw money from my Venmo. Send it on PayPal.
All right.
By the way,
can I exit TikTok? I'm sorry. Also, to be very, I am not MAGA. I did vote for Trump, but I only put my profile picture on that. I didn't realize that if I was private, I couldn't debate you.
What do you want to debate about?
I want to debate you on mass amnesty. and I
Dude,
listen to you every
let's do it.
day.
Oh, you know what?
Right,
You
I'm
know
gonna
what?
do it in
Very
a respectful
special,
way. But
very,
let me hang on.
very
let me get
special
this,
debate
let
here.
Me,
We'll do it. Okay.
let me hang on. Let me donate to you first. Hang on. If I exit TikTok, will I stay on the feed with you?
Yeah, you will. Do you know my PayPal?
I do.
Okay. It is just to clarify, DeanWithtrs.
Okay, let me make sure. Okay, I'll be right back.
Yeah. By the way, for those curious, this is a 300. Apparently. I mean, we'll see. But it's apparently a $360 donation going towards the Congo, which is half of what the donation goal would have been, or was supposed to be when we ultimately host our fundraiser here soon, to raise money to pay for water, clean water for 50,000 people for a month. I mean, let's see if it goes through. Also, Sam, please, I know that you could hear me. I can't hear you right now. I can only hear you when you're in the... She just did it.
All right, no, I did it. I told you I
Damn.
wasn't full of shit.
No, you weren't full of shit.
No, I listen to you every day. And honestly, so in 2016, I voted the way I voted. I was 18 at the time. I'm 27 now. It was kind of this is going to sound shitty. I didn't know what he was going to do, but it was kind of a pocketbook vote, right? So I was told economy would be better. And since then, I've obviously done a lot of reflecting, and I watch your content every day for a few months. That being said, you lose me on the idea when it comes to mass amnesty.
Okay. All right. You know, I hear this from a lot of like moderate left-leaning people, or like more like institutional liberals. I hear that a lot. I want to have this discussion with you. I actually think this will be a good talk. This is probably like the most productive thing to happen in my stream in a while. And then also just thought I'd tell you, yeah, I did get the $360. That is going like straight to the fundraiser.
Okay, good.
You'll likely hear more about that in my live in a while. And then for everybody else, what I will say, I don't want anybody else to donate me money like that. I'm just doing this for like Sam right now because I mean they said they would, and that's a large chunk of change to be going towards a fundraiser. I like healthy practices of fundraising. When we do the public fundraiser, I want you guys to be able to have like all the information about who exactly the money is going to, who exactly it will benefit, like et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Like all of the specifics. I just feel like that is necessary for a fundraiser, not the whole you see a guy on your For You page asking for money to go to a cause type deal. So I'm not going to take any more donations until we have a more like solidified foundation with, you know, like a website, the foundation, who it's going to, what will be done, et cetera. But, you know, she did donate $360. That will be kept for that 110%. In fact, I already messaged Athene about it. That's really, really kind of you. Seriously, very kind. But go ahead and tell me why I lose you on mass amnesty.
All right. So we saw mass amnesty play out in it was either 85 or 86, and I think the U.S. granted mass amnesty to around 3 million people under Reagan.
Okay.
And when we saw that, I think it's a sweeping fix that's gonna to a deeply layered issue. You know what I mean? And I think after we provided mass amnesty to, I think it was 2.5 to 3 million people. I'm pretty sure illegal immigration surged after, and I think it was 2000, the undocumented population had more than doubled.
Okay.
And I know Spain did it in the early 2000s, and I think it was under 1 million people, but within a few years, the illegal immigration rebounded.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a hard time. I share a lot of views with you. I actually don't disagree with you really about anything except this. And I know you said that you're very left when it comes to this. But I have a hard time with this idea for other reasons in addition to like straining public resources and stuff like that. So.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, let's look at the example that you gave under Reagan. And if this is equivocal or the same as something that I would want for America today. So first and foremost, I don't think that amnesty on its own is the solution. I think it is a necessary part of a larger solution. And I'll explain to you what I mean by that. But before I do, you basically said once we did the amnesty in the 90s, undocumented entry surged. And it didn't show any inclination to reduce undocumented entry in the long term. If we were to just do mass amnesty and not fix any issues with our legal processes of entry, I would expect undocumented entry to surge. Think about it. Border, Okay? There's a border between you and a higher quality of life. If you do it the legal way, you have to, let's do the pros and cons. Wait 25 years. Okay, that's a con, but the pros, you become a citizen. What about the illegal way or the undocumented way? Well, a con is that you do it illegally and you're under the threat of being deported, but maybe a pro is a higher quality of life and you don't have to wait 25 years. Well, after Reagan did the mass amnesty, they restructured that incentive structure in a way where it was no longer a con of undocumented entry. Seemingly, at least the con was less likely to apply to you of being under threat of being deported because the president was offering the undocumented immigrant citizenship or residency, right? So it makes sense that just gave even more incentive for undocumented entry by mitigating the cons that would exist via undocumented entry and made it significantly more desirable than legal entry. Right? And I disagree with that incentive structure. So this means that if we were to implement mass amnesty, we couldn't just implement mass amnesty and then leave the borders taking 20 through 25 years for legal entry. Mass amnesty would be part of a larger solution, and that would also include making the legal means of entry into this country significantly faster, and offering that same solution to everybody that is attempting to come in legally. And then ultimately, once we get to a point where legal citizenship is attainable for anybody who should feasibly have it, we then crack down on the undocumented entry that would remain, because at that point, I would expect the undocumented entry that would remain to be people with things like prior violent offenses or warrants from other countries for heinous crimes. And I feel like if we do those two things at once, I think that we would see a lot of success because we would reap the benefits that we saw in the 90s, like higher wages on average, a boom in economic growth, but we wouldn't reap those detriments of a surge in undocumented entry because we'd be fixing the incentive structure for legal entry while cracking down on the bad undocumented entry that would remain.
Sure. No, and I agree with making the process to come into the country easier. But I don't see how vetting millions of people at once is realistic. And as much as I agree with you, I would say the far majority of, I don't want to say immigrants who come in the country illegally, I don't want to say that the majority of them are bad. I don't think they are. I think they're good. I think the majority of them just want a better life for themselves and their families. But don't you think that vetting millions of people at once allows for dangerous individuals to slip through? I think that's like the major concern for most people who are against mass amnesty.
Okay, I mean, I'd actually say that mass amnesty is more realistic than mass deportation. Think about it. Millions of people, we need to do something with them. If the thing that we want to do to them is going to hurt them, like deportation would, they'd be less willing to cooperate. If it's going to help them, like mass amnesty, they'd be more willing to cooperate. So if anything, there'd be more evil, bad terrorists in our country for a longer period of time because mass deportation would just take significantly longer. And then second of all, about ensuring that through the vetting process of mass amnesty, right, we're not letting evil people slip through the cracks. Well, I mean, man, I think that it should take maybe like 6 months, 8 months max to be vetted for something like amnesty. And I think that is more than enough time to realistically vet these individuals and see if they have any of these prior violent offenses, considering the fact that it takes 3 months to get top security clearance through the American government. You know what I mean? And maybe like you'd point out like an issue of practicality saying that, oh, I don't know, we don't have enough funding directed towards the proper resources to offer these solutions of mass amnesty. I think we should give them more funding. I think we should give it a shit ton of funding. I wouldn't mind if we funded that billions and billions and billions of billions and billions of dollars per year. Why? Well, the alternative will cost us trillions of dollars per year, and we'll get an ROI off of that investment into this wide-scale program because of the economic benefits that we'd reap from the labor of these new citizens that are now garnering higher wages and are now more incentivized to pay taxes.
Okay, I hear you on that. And what about the strain on public resources? Because if their legal status changes and they're here legally, doesn't that increase their access to public services like SNAPs and EBT, which are already, strained?
It does. So it does. It would increase the access to these things. But this is going to be true when citizens just have children that are born in this country. And this is also going to be true through legal immigration. But I would say that mass amnesty actually puts less strain on these social safety nets compared to children just having kids through birthright citizenship, because there's more undocumented immigrants that are of working age compared to citizens, proportionately speaking, meaning that they're more likely to work. They have a higher participation rate in the labor force. So obviously, when you have a demographic that's at a higher participation rate in the labor force, these individuals under like optimal conditions are going to put less of a strain on these social safety nets, meaning that if anything, your idea there would be more in alignment with the goal of limiting the amount of kids citizens can have compared to the goal of limiting mass amnesty.
Okay. But so in like low wage sectors where increased labor supply can depress wages, won't working class Americans be most directly impacted by that if all these, if millions of people are legalized at once?
So I actually think that we'll see an increase in real median wages through mass amnesty. I think that undocumented immigrants actually can suppress wages because they don't have a legal status. They have less bargaining power. I don't put that blame on them. I put that blame on their employer for exploiting the fact that they don't have they have less legal status. They have less bargaining power, and their employer would basically just be less likely to exploit them because of that, because it would no longer be true that they don't have a legal status and they have less bargaining power, and they'd be able to get higher wages, increasing real median wages on average. The way I like to think about it is mass amnesty would basically have the same impact on wages that unions do. Unions serve the purpose of increasing the bargaining power of a particular demographic in any industry. And what impact does that have on average wages? It causes the average wages to go up. All right. Same way mass amnesty would give undocumented immigrants more bargaining power. Hopefully we'd see real median wages go up.
Okay, and my last argument would be, and I know this is going to sound hypocritical because Trump is a convicted criminal, but I've heard the argument, and I'm really just trying to have you change my mind or give me things that I can say back to people that I'm around about mass amnesty. But I've heard that it sends kind of a dangerous principle that violating the law will eventually be forgiven. Like, why would anyone respect our immigration system if the consequences of breaking it are eventually rewarded?
Right. I mean, I feel like we've seen this same hypothesis tested many times throughout history. This was the same reaction that people had when we banned racial segregation. This was the same reaction that some people had when we banned slavery. This is the same reaction that some people had when we lifted the ban on gay marriage. This is the same reaction that some people had when we imposed Roe v. Wade. I actually think that it doesn't set forth this dangerous precedent, because the law of mass deportation, I think, only serves to make this country and everybody in it worse off. And setting forth a precedent that our country is willing to take responsibility and amend our legislative standards when our legislation simply only serves the purpose of generating harm in this country is a great standard that should be set. Now, does that address your concerns? Do you understand what I'm saying there? Do I need to reword it?
No, and I understand what you're saying, and I know you've mentioned that the GDP goes up because of the contributions of the immigrants that are here illegally. But GDP can go up, and individual Americans can still be worse off, because if wages are pushed down and low skill sectors or public services are strained, like, we'll feel it. Working class Americans will feel it even if the GDP is...
Absolutely. If GDP goes up but real wages go down, people feel that. It sucks, right? Because GDP is nominal. It doesn't account for per capita. And we need to be looking at per capita stats here. Well, the argument I gave you earlier about how mass amnesty would give undocumented immigrants more bargaining power against their employers would hopefully cause their wages to go up. I mean, that's the effect that unions have. I'd expect it to be the same effect of mass amnesty. So it increases per capita real median wages. And then just generally, we haven't seen a super strong correlation between mass immigration and a reduction in real median wages. The increase in real median wages under Trump's first term was 2.8%. Then the increase in real median wages under the Biden-Harris administration was 5.6%. And of course, we had significantly more immigrants coming into America and going to work under the Biden-Harris administration.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you for the good conversation.
I sent you a message, take magnesium for your heart palpitations, because that's what I do and it helps me.
I'll have to do that. I appreciate you for the good conversation, and I appreciate you for the pushback on mass amnesty. I think that conversations like this are incredibly valuable, because it is literally my goal to get the Democratic Party to represent policy of mass amnesty. It is my goal to get the average American to believe in policy of mass amnesty. I think it is really good policy. that helps this country. I think that, you know, some of the things that you said there to critique it are very fair critiques, you know, asking about what will its impact be on real wages, what will its impact be on, you know, social safety nets, etc. Those are great questions, and I really appreciate you for asking them.
All right, cool. Well, you have a good rest of your day.
You as well, Sam, and seriously, you're a great person for
I'm
for
changing my
your donation to the
profile
Congo.
picture.
Yeah, have fun doing it. Have a good rest of your day.
You too. Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Everybody, that was a great conversation. Probably one of my favorite conversations on the live for a very, very long time. Yeah, no, W guest, you guys. Super W guest. I mean, came up here, donated $360 to, you know, clean water for people in the Congo, and then disagreed with me on my immigration policy. She said that she didn't support mass amnesty, but then had like a super good conversation with me, offered fair critiques, and like listen to what I had to say. Super W guest. That is like probably the best example of a debate that I have ever had on my live stream. That is how these things are supposed to go. I really appreciate that last guest for her time. That was awesome. Thomas, thank you for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat, saying thank you for everything that you do, Dean. As a 30-year-old, I'm super impressed on how you speak, the research that you do, and all the help you for comment sets. I appreciate you for the love, Thomas. All right, let's go to move on to the next guest. We're probably going to go do one last guest of the night before we hop off here. So if you do want to support me before we hop off for the night, you can find my Venmo, my PayPal, and the link tree in my bio. I get 100% of the proceeds on those platforms, as well as you'll be able to attach a message that I can read off on live. All right, let's get the next guest up in here. What's going on? Do you support Trump, Hayden?
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
22.
22. Phenomenal. And why do you support Trump?
I even supported Trump back in 2016, the first time I ever voted, and honestly, I just support Trump mainly.
You didn't vote in 2016.
Because
You're
of
22.
Yeah, I voted the first time. Or no, not first time. Sorry, when he lost to Biden, that's the first time I voted. Sorry.
2020. There you go.
But yes, sir. Sorry.
No worries.
But I mainly support Trump mainly for my Christian views, and I really think he can just help the country better than Kamala can or Joe Biden can with other world leaders.
Okay, real quick.
And put more money in my pockets.
Can you either turn that TV off, go into a different room, or go into a different room, and then also like
Oh,
disconnect?
sorry. I
feel like
muted it.
Yeah, I feel like you're talking to me through like some AirPods right now. Is it possible if you disconnect any Bluetooth device you do have connected?
Does that sound better?
I don't think that you've disconnected the Bluetooth device yet. Or do you even have a Bluetooth device connected? There you go.
How about that?
Much better, bro. Appreciate it.
Sorry.
Appreciate it. So where do you want to start?
We can start wherever you can choose.
I've short term. Repeat the first reason. Oh, Christianity. I want to talk about that. Why do you think your Christian beliefs are closer alignment with Trump?
I think it's just as a Baptist Christian that Trump has more views on that than Kamala or Joe did. And
Kamala was
I feel
literally
like
a Baptist too.
I really feel like they try to push it out and stuff of churches and in schools, and then I think Trump would really actually start putting it back in and try to bring it back into America bigger and better.
No, Kamala Harris never tried to push Christianity out of schools. She upheld the status quo of not indoctrinating students in public school to be Christian.
I'm sorry, can you say that again? I didn't hear you.
Kamala Harris didn't like advocate for the progression of pushing Christianity out of schools. She upheld the status quo of the separation of the church and the state and not indoctrinating students in public school to be Christian.
Okay. I didn't know that.
I don't think that we should be putting the Ten Commandments or anything Christian in schools to say like this God exists and you should listen to what he says. I don't think we should be doing that in public schools. I think that's very bad.
Okay, I mean, I agree some with that and some not. I mean, I do think it shouldn't be a thing that's forced for sure. I think it's something you have to come across on your own.
Public education is forced on minors, literally forced. Okay, and that's a good thing. It should be, right? But like anything you put in that public educational curriculum, such as saying that this God exists and here's his commandments, that is literally forcing Christianity on students in school.
Okay, I get what you're saying. I'm saying, like, I feel like anytime that even if students or something wants to bring up God, like in school and stuff, when we play football and try to pray and stuff, they wouldn't allow us and stuff like that. I feel like that's the stuff where Trump can help bring that stuff back into schools and stuff like that.
So you wanted to pray on your football team. I mean, I don't really see any reason why, like, if everybody on that football team was Christian, who's not going to allow you to pray? Like,
That's
obviously,
true.
if everybody on that team is Christian, you guys are all going to choose to pray together, okay? But if,
Yes,
like,
that's true,
if there's
yeah.
people that are on that team that aren't Christian, obviously, if you are praying as a group, including the non-Christian students, you are forcing that prayer on them. Once again, it's just forcing Christianity on them, right? Like engaging in prayers with like a group of people in like a school extracurricular such as football, right? Including students that aren't Christian. I'd say is forcing Christianity on kids. But I mean, if the whole team is Christian, or you just happen to do this in your own time with the other people on the team that are Christian, I don't think anybody's going to take an issue with that.
Yes, sir. I understand what you're saying.
Like, yeah, like somebody in the
But-
chat says students are allowed to lead prayer, faculty is not. Yeah, precisely. Anyways, and then even about like how do you see like Trump putting Christianity back into America? I actually see, like, if we want to look at Christian values, I think that he's taking Christian values out of America. You know, like he's telling people to despise undocumented immigrants, painting them as this villain that is eating your pets, raping your wife, and kidnapping your children. Violent MS-13 gang member P3DO sentencing people without due process illegally to be beaten, tortured in another country. But then when we read Leviticus 26, I mean, God tells us to treat the foreigners among us the same as the native born. Et cetera, et cetera. I mean, like same thing with, you know.
He also says to obey the laws of the land too.
So I mean, he says that in what? In reference to like Roman authorities. I don't even think you are going to like full-heartedly believe that. Like, do you think that Christianity would have compelled you to return an escaped enslaved individual back to their captor when the fugitive slave clause was the law of the land in 1850? Would Christianity have compelled you to do that?
That is a good question.
Right.
I mean,
I don't think that like Christianity like truly compels followers to do that, and I don't really think that the followers of the religion think that either.
yeah, I get what you're saying. Yes, sir.
All right, and then also, I mean, I think it's very clearly like detailed that the law of man is not above the law of God. That's also
that's
going to
true.
be found
Yes,
in the
sir.
Bible.
Yes, sir.
And I mean, what I read you there from Leviticus is the law of God.
Yeah.
All right. Like, can you give me an example of anything like super Christian he's doing?
I mean, I feel like most time when he gets up and talks, he's always thanking God and stuff. And we've seen him pray, we've seen him give money to the church. And I don't know if it's just because obviously since I support Trump, I get more Trump things on my feed than I would like Kamala. I'm not saying she doesn't do that. I just don't see it.
I don't think that saying that you're a man of God is inherently pro-Christian. I actually think that we see many times in the Bible where saying that you're a man of God and then not actually acting as a follower of Christ is anti-Christian. Think Antichrist. Think when Jesus is talking about how the wolves in sheep's clothing, people that claim to be Christian that don't act in accordance with his commandments, are very evil. Or, you know, how in James they say faith without works is dead, right? The works of following the commandment. And I mean, I think that these things apply to Trump. He claims to be a Christian. You know, no one will ever know if that truly applies to him. But
Yes,
then he
sir.
passes economic policy that cuts 17 million low-income Americans off of health care and redistributes wealth from the poor to the rich. That is obviously an anti-Christian policy. In Psalms, I mean, God straight up tells us that, you know, if we give to those that are more needy than us, we'll be given great glory in the kingdom of heaven. Where do you think that lands those that take from those that are more needy than us and gives to those that are more that are better off than us? Probably in hell, right? Right, and I mean, we only see this sentiment echoed, right? Like in the New Testament, Jesus says, a camel is just as likely to pass through the eye of a needle as a rich man is to enter into the kingdom of heaven. I mean, if you interpret that literally, Donald Trump is going to hell. Now, if you take more of a metaphorical interpretation on that and say a rich man with grandeur that is succumbed by his wealth and idolatry of his riches is somebody that goes to hell, and that also applies to Trump and applies to Trump's policy. Cutting low-income Americans off the bare necessities to live just to give Jeff Bezos another yacht. That's incredibly anti-Christian.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I mean, again, I'm not saying Trump's a perfect man by any means, just by saying he's a Christian or he's a man of God. And I'm not saying he hasn't. I'm not saying Trump ain't done stuff wrong. I mean, I don't agree with everything Trump has done as president or just as a businessman at all.
Okay, so then what's the argument? Because, like the point that I guess we've been debating for the last 10 minutes is that, he's putting Christianity back into this country. And I feel like I've given very clear, explicit examples of how he's doing the opposite. He's taking true Christian values and just ripping them out of this country. He's convincing people of a false faith. Who does that?
Okay.
Who does that? I think that there's a really good example of something or someone convincing people of a false faith under the guise of faith in Christ and Revelations.
Yeah, I haven't seen that. I guess I'd have to do more research on that. So I would definitely have to say you've won this debate, and that I would definitely need to be doing more research.
I appreciate you for the conversation, man. I really do love talking about how Christianity, aligns with the morals of society and more so the morals of the administration. I'm not a Christian myself, but I love studying the faith. Studying the historicity of the church is literally my favorite thing to do in my free time. Studying the Bible is just always something that I've been compelled to desired to do for some odd reason. So I like conversing about it. Thanks for popping up.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the opportunity.
You have a good one, Aiden. You have a good one. We're going to move on to the next guest right now, everybody. This will probably be the last guest of the night. This next guest will be the last guest of the night. We got Fishing with Henry. Another open-minded caller. I appreciate that. That's cool. Naomi, thank you for the $10 over on YouTube Super Chat, saying that there's a reason for the church and state being separated. In my personal opinion, I feel it's because particular laws made by religion can really harm people in all sorts of ways unimaginably. That is spot on, Naomi. American slavery was driven by evangelical fundamentalist Christians. They made it a Bible just for the slaves, including texts from Leviticus saying that they were supposed to be enslaved. Spot on. Using Christianity to dictate a criminal justice system are more so advocating for theocracy government. Usually just ends with very corrupt, bad faith actors using the guise of God to convince people to mindlessly follow whatever they say by cherry picking scripture and misrepresenting the true beliefs of the faith. Kathy, thank you so much for another $75 donation over on PayPal. Thank you so much, Kathy. That is so incredibly kind of you. Can we get 750 Kathy W's down below in that chat? Can we please do that? Thank you so much for the love, Kathy. That is an incredibly generous donation. Thank you so much for your kindness. If we could get a bunch of Kathy W's down below, I would love that. That would be so incredibly kind of you. And thank you, seriously, thank you so much for the $75 donation. Show some love to Kathy. That's Kathy with a C, by the way, down below in that chat. As well as Eli with the $5, Jasmine with the $5, Angela with the $10. Thank you, Angela. Helena with the $5, and Rachel with the $2.
Why are you vaping? Why are you vaping?
I don't vape. It's an anxiety pin. Do you support Trump?
Are you
Jesus Christ, bro. Fucking hell.
How gay are you?
Can you name one demographic of people that you look intelligent to right now? I'll give you 5 seconds to answer the question.
How fucking gay are you? Eating.
Fucking hell, dude. Yeah, rock brain. Sorry you guys had to hear that. We're gonna move on to the next guest. Everyone just give us a minute. We got Dylan loading up in the box. Zachary, the $5.
I can join.
Hey, what's up? Do you support Trump?
Nothing happened, right?
Shouldn't keep on saying
Okay,
that.
Dylan's not here. All right, we're gonna move on to the next guest. Everyone just give us a minute. Okay, let's get King up in here. Ren with the $2 over on Venmo. I appreciate you for the love, as well as Monica with the $5. Thank you so much for the love. That's incredibly kind of you. Then Robert with the $10 16 minutes ago, praying for keeping the lights on and shining bright. Appreciate you for the love, Robert. And then Nikki, this was 21 minutes ago, but I do want to thank you with the $25 donation over on Venmo. Show some love to Nikki down below, y'all. And then also Sage with the $10. Thank you so much. I appreciate everyone once again for all the love. And then David, thank you so much for the $20 over on YouTube Super Chat. David says, preach, Dean. Already know you're well-versed in Bible scripture, but Dan McClellan would be a good source to point Trumpies to because he goes in depth with interpretation, and I'm a Catholic. Dude, I love Dan. Dan is one of my favorite people ever. I've been following Dan forever, David. Following Dan since before I had a massive platform. He is awesome. He's the GOAT. What's up, King? How old are you?
I'm 18. No, I'm playing.
Get out of here. All right, everybody. We're going to try to get one last guest up in here if we can. Unfortunately, we're not going to be bringing Karen. Yeah, should we bring Karen up for 5 minutes here then end? Should we just end on a positive note? Should we do that, everybody? Should we get Karen up in here? Well, yeah. I like Karen. Karen's cool. Hey, Karen.
Hello, Dean. How are you doing?
You know what? I woke up doing bad. You know, I've had it rough, Karen. It's been crazy.
Oh,
All the DMs,
and I know
the
it.
messages, calling me a pedo. There's a lot I could deal with, Karen. You know, like hate from the internet. You know, it's just a part of being a public figure. I get that. But the pressure of thousands of people calling you a pedophile when you're not a pedophile, it's immense. So I haven't been doing too well, but I have been doing pretty good for this stream. How about you, Karen?
So I've been doing well, but I understand what you're saying because the thing is, I think that you should remember is that when you're doing a good work, there's going to be people who are going to try to stop that. And basically what you have this day in this day and age, especially with the Trump supporters and people that support him, you have a group of people who will support him no matter what. They will tarnish anyone's name who says anything against him, even if it means that even if it means that they're siding with him for looking at underage children. So they don't care. They don't care what he does. So they're going to try to spin the narrative. And that's what they're trying to do for you because they know Donald Trump's wrong. They just don't care. So now they're trying to blame anybody else but Donald Trump.
Right. You know, like the way that I've kind of conceived it in my head, there's so many Trump supporters out there that just hate me so much because I'm able to expose why these people are frauds, why he's a fraud. And like they finally got their catalyst. They got one person to make a video saying that I dox some innocent father that thinks kids can't consent to sex, making the implication that I'm a pedo. They got one catalyst to finally just make the belligerently misinformation propagandistic post. And then they all jumped on board with that catalyst. And that's what it is amounted to. Ultimately, coming out of a place of disdain for, shining light on such glaring hypocrisy and ignorance.
Absolutely. That's, you said it perfectly. And you have people, like I said, when you're doing the right thing, you're going to have people who try to push you further back. They don't want the truth out, but the truth comes to light. What you put out in the world is what you get back. And those people who are putting that negativity, it will come back. The world has a way of giving back what you put into it. So at the end of the day, they're going to pay for what they have done. And furthermore, if you ask me, I know you say you apologized on your video there, but I think that it's important that people are investigated because if not, then what about those poor children? What if that happened to their children and Donald Trump was in the room? If anyone was in the room, it's important because you have so many times that people just let kids, they just pass by children and act as if, that they shouldn't. An investigation should go on. Absolutely. If you ask me, that's what I would have done. I would have called immediately. And I think that anyone that sides with that, anyone that sides with a known child predator should be investigated. And that's that because you're going to have kids who are going to be assaulted. And then, there's just so much that I can say, Dean, but you're doing a great job. Keep doing it. Absolutely keep doing it because you're, like I said yesterday, you're the new generation and we need you to push us forward because otherwise if we have, MAGAs and people that think like that, we're going to have a lawless society. So we need you to keep pressing forward. And I know it's definitely hard for you. Absolutely.
Words of wisdom. Words of wisdom, absolutely. Karen. Thank you so much for being the stream ender. Absolutely great. Thank you so much for coming up, Karen.
You have a great night.
You as well. We love Karen here.
Absolutely.
We love Karen here. Everybody, for the 8.6K people watching over on TikTok and the 3.1 thousand people watching on YouTube, this stream has come to an end. But there is one thing that I want every single one of y'all to do. Go to my Instagram. Go to my TikTok. You'll find a 4-minute video of me exposing the lies. Of me going over how Dean actually didn't dox an innocent father. I thought kids can't consent. Please, go drop it a like. Watch as much as you can watch. The longer you watch, the more it pushes that into the algorithm because it shows a higher engagement rate. Drop some comments. Repost it. Share it on Instagram. Share it around. You know what I mean? I'd really appreciate it if you guys could help me do that. Now, I'm hearing reports that Adrian is live. So after you go watch that video, I would also really appreciate it if you could go raid my friend Adrian at adrien.jpg. She's debating misogynist. We love Adrian. She's awesome. And then one last shout out here. Naomi with a $50 super chat over on YouTube saying whenever people hate being held accountable, especially hate hearing the truth, they will try to find any kind of way to frame you as if you were the villain and ruin your reputation. But don't let those horrible people get to you, Dean. They've been getting to me a little bit. Okay, and I'm comfortable with admitting that. Honestly, if like thousands of people calling you a pedophile on the internet didn't get to you at all, I would have questions. You know what I mean? I would have questions. I would have questions for you. So I'll happily admit, I'll proudly say out loud, it has been getting to me. It has been hard to stay strong, but you know what? We will persist. I appreciate you all so much. Have a good rest of y'all's nights, everybody. Go watch that video.